And Roman said he thought it was Alberton Library. Sure enough, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that name.
How did you track that down?
In the pile that you already signed, and it says Alberton, and Guna signed it.
Oh, okay. Goodness. Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I never seen it. I didn't. Can't they have a paper reduction act or something?
No, we live in a logging community. It's a good thing.
No, it's not. They get it right.
No, papers like this cause a lot of chaos for me. It's too much. However, we do support Pacific Steel and Recycling. What is Pacific Steel and Recycling? Do you know what that is? Pacific Steel
I know
and
what it is.
Recycling?
Maybe Darren, or who signed it?
It would be in your file.
You're talking, take these checks away from the room.
Yeah,
Way too many questions. What was the number?
41405.
I'm guessing it's Jason. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
There ain't too many people that are using steel for anything. Okay. Never can tell.
Never can, that's right.
$1,270 for ice mill.
Oh, you talked about heated sidewalks and parking lots.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Yeah. He said it would be a savings in the long run, and he might be right.
If we go with the green machine, it's not gonna be snowing anymore, you know?
The green machine. What's that?
Global warming.
That's right, we don't have to worry about it. And why did we have these guys here? Staley Engineering.
Something with Andy.
Oh.
He signed it.
Oh, okay. Human feels left out because
I'm reading up
we're
on
doing
mine.
all the work. Oh, good.
Yeah, I can take out.
Did you sign that thing for Candace?
Yeah. That need to be delivered?
Mm-hmm. She needs it today anyway.
Okay.
Is there any signatures besides ours needed? Because if it's just ours, could you have Darren scan that
Oh,
before
yeah,
you?
yeah, it is.
Okay, if we don't have to wait for it to come back with her.
Right.
Okay, great.
Who's the signature?
Casey?
Is
Casey
it?
Kiesel, yep.
We have Starlink?
Just that you don't have it, Century Link?
Century.
I don't know what that
Cable,
is.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yep, it's cable TV. I forgot about that. I was never in agreement with that.
There's that. I know, I second that. Support locally, our local TV district.
Well, yeah, much trouble was when they've had all those over the years,
The print read, no contact forms.
Kim would sign that one.
Okay. Oh, then I would know. Get it? Oh, there we are, CenturyLink. Then why don't we all use CenturyLink? And is that for a month?
I suppose you can get it if you want to.
Well, not at that price, I
How
don't.
much is it?
$390.42. I would just be curious, what's the length of time?
Total monthly charge, it says.
Holy cow.
Montana, oh, it says, maybe it's something else, maybe it's not their TV.
It says internet.
It says high-speed internet, technical support, financial services, payment arrangements, repair service on 24, oh, it's just, that's it. And then it says monthly charge, Montana Emergency Bundle Service, $3.90.
Would that be
Must be the jail.
dispatch or?
Yeah, must be.
I would be curious to ask that if I see a.
You asked.
I will, but you know, I could forget.
Do you know, Robert?
What's that?
What's the jail use CenturyLink for?
Well, I think it's kind of an internet thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, but for what? Since we have internet.
It might be what, some of the computers or CJ and stuff
Yeah,
come across.
we wondered, so maybe I would be curious and like to ask if we see Cashman walk by, we
Mhm.
could ask him, only because I don't wanna, it's kind of a trivial thing.
A long time ago I asked, and I forgot.
Oh.
Back when Ronnie was running.
Mm.
I thought it had something to do with
Yeah, I vaguely remember that too. And for whatever reason, I don't know.
Huh. And Selby's, I think that they service Andy's stuff. I don't know if they service our other, but I think his plot machine gets serviced by Selby's. Remember when they found an M&M? The service guy had to have been eating M&Ms when he cleaned one of the big, expensive machines. And so when somebody else came, or Kelly had opened it up or something, some M&Ms had fallen out.
Interesting.
We don't have that service anymore. Hello,
What do you
Gary.
know?
Oh, I'm just looking, thinking.
Quit that thinking.
I know, it's bad news, right?
They have to pay extra for that.
Folders. Here's some extra folders. I'll just leave them right here down.
Do we want to name them anything? What are we going to put in those folders?
Well, I don't know. You said you
Yeah,
needed
so that we
folders, so.
didn't, yeah, to give you stuff. Like, I'll put these checks, maybe, or notes
So,
over on top of the
So
claims.
we didn't, but notice where all that stuff is that we put up there?
It's me.
Don't ever include me
I know.
again.
It's me. So this would also be for the jail.
I'm gonna go today, before the day is over. I'm gonna clean my office.
I'm assuming.
We don't have any choice.
No.
Today's gonna be a debug day.
I'll give you a chart.
Okay.
You might want
Do you want my flash drive?
Yeah.
to get a chance
Okay.
at the end of the day.
But like I said, before the day's over, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
If I have to stop everything,
Don't stop this.
it's messing me up.
I would
I
assume.
get that. Yeah. So, since my computer's off, you think I just pulled the flash drive
It
out?
should. I hope. I mean, I don't. I've done it before. And it's never hurt anything. So.
You will see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Today's the maybe 24th, right?
Well,
Yeah, we're working on that.
yeah, last. Yeah. I got it started. Oh, wait, you'll need some other stuff. Appreciate this, Darren, since if you've got time and I know
Well,
the
I-
office is important, but this is probably,
I know there's, I got others, I gotta schedule interviews. I've got a few things to do, but I can spend some time on this.
okay, great. And then we can just pass it around. Roland's such a good writer.
Oh, do you want me to type up some minutes? What?
He's gonna get started, so maybe we'll pass it to
Oh,
him. I
okay.
have it all on my flash drive.
All right, yeah, I can help immediately. Sometime.
Would that be when your sons are there?
What?
When your sons are there, are you?
Yes. When they can turn the damn computer on, help me out.
But that was what wives were for.
Oh, jeez. Justice, that must be.
Chappy boats. You can't be both.
What do you roll?
It was a second Pitney Bowes, but I know that's legit. But it was a second. This one was postage fees and it didn't say what the other one was. $3 for DMV veteran services. Weed control. See, if I was really good, I would have all the account information out and be checking.
So we used to have a cheat sheet someplace.
We do. I just don't know if I could fit one more piece of paper on here.
Yeah, cause I always,
Yeah. I'm with you. State information.
Roland's probably got it memorized.
Yeah. What, the fund account number?
Yeah.
Yes. So,
That's really
what
I
is,
think we need to go solar.
oh yes, absolutely.
What is it?
Weed control. I'm looking for, no, I had to go
It's an
backwards because,
extension agent.
no, I know, I'm looking for it. I was looking for something else. And I had to back up to see if I had signed it without paying attention. It wasn't that. That was giving me a marker, place to start. State Farm. There was one on here I didn't see a check for. But which one was it? $3, DMV. We have two of those? We do. DMV, Huh.
Priority.
driver's request and driver history. So I don't know what that is, but. Yes, you're right, Oregon. Oh, I wonder if this is, see, like here, I would have to see your claim, but I wonder if this is Kim's?
Just say it.
Yep. Oh, you just did,
Mhm.
you were in sync?
Pretty much.
Huh. Yeah. And then I would be curious to know how this energy bill, the fluctuation in months or seasons, just out of curiosity. Do you think that changes or?
Oh, I'm sure it goes down in the summertime. because-
Except what do we have for air conditioners?
Yeah.
So,
But it's got, I mean, yeah. Well, that's just the power though. So that ain't what he says.
that's just the power.
Yeah.
The lights,
Yeah,
because that's what the claim said was lights.
well, it's in Northwest Denver.
Yeah, so does
the
this one
wireless-
service, so,
Wireless fired by oil.
okay. Planning board, sheriff, investment, finance charge clerk. Huh. Look at this. Look how much that is. Or ad, we need to grab that ad. Whoops, didn't mean to cross them out. So put it on that, yeah. Oh.
But we can take that out of Title III.
Oh,
I don't know why we
so,
can't.
103, we would need the cheat sheet, wouldn't we? To see.
Right, Roan?
What's that?
The advertisement for that resource advisor, we're gonna be able to take that out of Title III.
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
it should be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, if I can't find that cheat sheet, run to Darren's office and see if it's there, because that's a nice little, it's not much, but still, I just wanna
Yeah,
make
you
sure it
should-
came out of
we
the
should
right
make a
place.
couple more,
Yes, I'll see if it's in there.
and then laminate.
Yes. Oh, we have plastic sleeves nowadays.
I would prefer lamination.
Yeah, well. Yeah, uh-huh.
Keep walking. Did you see the paper about the clerk and recorder and two people out of their office resigned up in Lincoln County?
Oh, really?
Personnel matter. Can't talk about it.
Oh,
We ain't the only ones that has problems.
wow, so who's left in there to run it?
Said somebody, I thought it said somebody that was in training.
Uh,
Oh, I'm sure somebody's out there. They have quite a few rows up there. Remember when they were out for that sheriff and they tried to recall him about 3 times?
in Lincoln or in
Yeah.
Sanders?
Little Lincoln. They never did get him recalled. I think that was just before Marshall went back up there.
Huh.
Well, is it melting at all up there, Clayton?
What's that?
I say, is it melting at all up there?
Oh, quite a bit, yeah. We still have snow on the ground. We still have, like in between our garage and our house in the little L shape. We have too much snow. I wish there was some way I could just hit a switch and it would melt, but ain't gonna happen. And then I have about, on top of my motorhome, I have about 8 inches still. I'm done with it. Let the thing dry up so I don't have to walk my Jeep every other day, you know?
Yeah.
Drive up my dirt driveway and it becomes,
We were up to Donna's sister's place at Cracker Creek there 2 weeks ago. Shit, there's 4 feet in there yet. I always thought that'd be kind of a cute little place to have a cabin, and she slapped me upside the head so quick. She said, like hell. When they were growing up, they had a house, they lived in a house right underneath that trestle when the Milwaukee ran there. And partway through the winter, they would have to take plywood out and nail it over their windows where the snow would falling off that
oh,
track
because
would
it's
break
tough
their
falling off
windows.
the trestle and stuff, yeah. Well, we had, 2 years, maybe it was 3, 2 years ago, we had our windows redone. Some of our windows, and then last year, when the snow shifted, in
Yeah,
our cabin, it just crapped one of the windows we had just had replaced.
oh, no kidding.
You know, and they're the kind of, you don't just go and have a glass maker come in and put new glass in.
Yeah,
So it's like, so we have a big crash. So, yeah, I was, just because of the weight of the ship twisted the building, you know, it was like, because of snow.
Wonder why they needed that. Oh, I know why they did. Because he told me, Punk told me, because they are very casual. They impound the gun too when they send the person home, the deputy. home.
Right, so they need to replace it. I wonder what did happen to that model 700 you were
I
talking
don't
about?
know, I'm gonna find out.
Gosh.
Cause I remember Boone telling us that that's why they bought it.
Right.
Wonder where Ken's at.
Hmm?
I wonder where Mr. Bird is at. He's
I don't know,
usually here by now.
probably in the Bahamas or something.
Yeah, I know that's where I would be if I was retired, had his money. Good guy. It's gotta be a good feeling to be able to do that. if you
Okay.
want.
So you know, Darren, I don't know, I know that with your schedule, you don't have a lot of time, but those black filing cabinets have tons of stuff. So in there, it took me a minute to visualize, where did I put that? In that black filing cabinet. So if you ever have a spare minute, a year or two down the road, just peruse through there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Dwayne, I have what you want, but it's not,
It's not laminated?
it's not like,
Take it back.
didn't even.
You want me to laminate for you?
He does.
I do.
Okay. Now, I just don't know if these things would have changed. Ooh, that doesn't look like a cheat sheet. It's not, so this one has to be right or we're in trouble. This would never change, would it? These codes, fund account, per department, that would never change, would it?
Shouldn't.
Because I don't know how old this is. If you wanna have that, hey, did you take my checks? Hey,
There you go.
you got through quite a few. Okay, I'm not leaving you again.
I'm gonna take out the canvas, that's when Darren can scan it first, I guess.
I'll run, the little letter? Yeah, I'll scan it and I'll run it up to her.
Okay,
Yeah, I
I
don't
can,
know.
I'm gonna ask her a question anyway, so.
Okay, I'll just scan it real quick as soon as I get.
No rush, I'll just stop off the coffee.
Lincoln National, wouldn't that be insurance? Yeah, whose? That shouldn't be us.
I don't think so.
Huh. Weird.
There's a list of. Turn the page.
Maybe I should go into singing. I left you in with the mic in my
Is that
hand.
the life insurance?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Oh, I
said,
guess
maybe I
if
should
they're
go
all
into
paying,
singing. I look pretty
do
good
you
with a
think
mic.
they're,
in my
Yeah.
hand.
are they?
I don't know.
We need to ask.
First things
Are
to
they
not
So
sending
what's
it
this
out?
for?
Yeah, no, that's kind of.
Well,
Oh, you're
what
gonna
I
definitely
wonder
need
is,
to
are
move
these
it
folks
closer to
sending in
the
a check?
podium, or move the podium closer.
Do you know, Roland,
What?
on that life insurance?
I guess I haven't spoken in front of it, so I don't know how far. Like, about
Which,
there.
what
Goes
check
through
is
the law.
that?
Yeah.
That's part of the benefits that employees get, remember the Spiel, health insurance, life insurance?
No, that's not health insurance.
No, I said
It's-
life.
Yeah, but
Should be a little
Do you wanna
orange
come
light
take a
that
look at
comes
it?
on. Is there a switch?
and it's been a little bit too
Yeah, there's also a switch.
loud,
on the light.
or I don't know about loud, but tin canny. The microphone has been whatever
Ah, there
settings
it
it's
is.
been on.
Switch.
Well, it just depends on the volume.
And how close they are to it?
Yep.
Now you get to go. Testing, testing.
Check, check, check. Nothing.
No, whatever you did, I think you may have turned
Yeah,
it on.
no.
There you go, now it's on.
Well, it's not.
Check,
I'll
check.
remember what the ratio, yeah, this is for like when employees retire from here, they have the option to stay on insurance, so,
Never mind.
I can ask.
Okay,
how that
Mr.
breakdown works.
Zalawi is.
And are they sending in a check for that?
Right.
And what check number was that?
That one, right, this is the one, correct? I'll go scan it, I'll meet you in my office.
All right.
You've seen that before though, huh?
Yeah, this is kind of a regular thing, but I'll go find out the details.
Yeah, I'm just curious, I've never seen it. You haven't cornered me into doing these in a long time.
And it's interesting, isn't it?
No, not really. If I'm being brutally honest, no, not really.
I think it is. It makes you think, but I don't know what to do.
Be honest. Did he take that
It's
one?
independent.
Are you taking that? Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
1-8, okay, where does this one go? I guess there, so, oh yeah, that would be 40.
Hello, Diane.
Hello, Diane.
Good morning.
Eagles.
Oops.
Oh, I know. So I wanted to be able to look at this. Oh, I know, I was looking at this one. You know, I was gonna look at these funds and see where they were coming out of. There was one, I can't remember which one I was interested in. Here we go. Oh, I think this is, let's see. Hey, I don't see it on here. I don't see sheriff on it. I messed up my contacts. I can't really see anything. 2300. So I would ask. Like, what is this? Because I can't figure that out all of a sudden now looking at this.
What are you not figuring out?
Okay, so I know that this is the account, right?
Where is this?
I think that's the, oh,
Right?
it's, what, this is a fund, isn't it?
Oh, that's the check. So,
Let's see. Okay, then no wonder I can't find it. I told you they messed up my contacts. So 4-1, so why do all of these things come out of here? I better just put this away. Well, because I don't understand. That's the claimers. I can't, all those things are on one claim. So if all these people are advertising, show me how I know that the advertising came out of the right fund.
it's
Or the
probably-
right
it's probably-
account.
It's probably on the claimant, but it's probably not. I guess.
Where'd you find it? 41424.
So there's 420230.
Okay,
What does that say?
420. Okay, we're getting about 420. 420 what?
420230.
You
You
did.
see it, since I can't see. That was all, let me see, or maybe he only got that much. Where
I
did you
wonder
put
if
that?
it's,
Oh, here, let's see. Oh, I think that's it. I know that this was not mine, I am not
That's my
finding
stuff
mine,
in yours.
but it's in here.
Yeah.
So this was,
so like 420750 is 911.
but why are they all?
So 420-230 is prisoners.
Okay,
That's this one.
okay, but,
So that tells you that whatever it was that they bought here, detergent, laundry powder, 40 pounds.
but why are all of these? Okay, so she's just telling us, this is how much it costs us to advertise, this is our fee. Out of his fund came this much, out of his came this, is that how that is? Because I wanted to look
This
here.
this is what we paid apparently
Yep,
total
total.
to
Yep.
the printer. This much of it came out
Yep.
of planning, this much of it came out of sheriff.
And that's what I wanted to check, was this, because I wanted to see this one. So Title III, 2904, 42, yeah, I don't, something's not right. We need to find the one was in here, the cheap, but I have this. Okay, let's look at this. I want to make sure that this was taken out of the right fund. General is the fund, and this is the account. Oh, this wearing cheaters makes me dizzy. Can't win. Okay, so I can just start with this one, a fair warrant. We advertise for that.
No, no.
No, I'm just, been on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Photoshop, TikTok.
So what does that do? That's a check number, is it? That's a check number.
Yeah, that would.
Oh, yeah, yes, because they are that big.
Yeah.
16940. I guess I'm not gonna find out. You, someone else is gonna have to do that. I'm finding Title III.
Well, was it on, is it in this one? Or was it on the last one?
Well, I don't know, because if
Well,
we
I'm
just
saying-
paid that bill, yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised to see it that long ago. But if I find the fund for Title III, that will tell me the answer, won't it? At least making sure it came out of the right account.
Well, if not, we're gonna have to tell it. So call it, ask her.
Yeah, I could. Maybe she has a cheat sheet too, because I don't know when it should be over there in the, on the bookshelf.
Where did you get this one from?
This was in an old folder. The one that, the cheat sheet. And I know we have one
So,
somewhere. I think it should have been in this folder. Because here it says, here's Title III. So no matter when it came out, here's this. And if it came out of Title III money,
It didn't,
no,
that's what I say, they put no right. So what did it come on?
well, I don't know, because if you look at this, if this is a claim and this is the check, how do we know where it came out of? According to this, oh, look. Don't cover up half the paper. Okay, so, fund. Yeah, that's not that.
No, you won't be able to look. Resources right there.
Oh, I can't see, that's why I need two, one. Oh, I gotta go up one still. Yeah. Fund 1,000. It came out of, for commissioner's money. So would I go and tell her that comes out of Title
Yeah,
III?
I would, yeah.
Okay, so then you need to write down, check 16941. How do we ever change that? Okay. I probably, because we can't keep going.
Yeah, you can take this with you.
All of those? What if I need to say, hey, wait a minute, what's this doing?
Yeah. So the only question I have,
It's, and did we see that in here?
we're billing accounts, is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Accounts, if we're done. Because that's more paying.
That's the invoice they gave to us,
Okay.
isn't it?
I don't know.
Let me check this, 310, 46. Yeah, I don't know. No, we're paying, yeah, because we're paying all these people.
Why are we paying? Accounts, yeah.
So if we meet, then we didn't, they must have some guys and they gave it to the supplier instead of doing it.
Okay, the town's third representative. We should have been billing them instead of,
Them billing us.
is that correct?
They took the guys.
Who did?
The town of Superior did.
They didn't. They don't have anywhere to put them.
I know, but there was something that our guys did instead of, they took them.
They booked them because the attorney was, yeah.
So we should still be billing them. You're
Well, I
saying?
would think.
I think they're billing us because we made them do something. But,
They should probably find out.
I know, if I take too many papers up there, then what's gonna happen? What am
Well,
I,
you got about 20 minutes, so.
what was my question to begin with? Oh, it was Title III.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna just go tell them.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask about this,
Yeah.
and I'll be
yeah.
right back,
Okay,
I hope.
I'll be right here.
You never know.
Oh, did you want to take the rest of these with you or not?
I think it's a lot of paper for me to.
Okay, yeah, we got the basket here. Darren can take it.
Yeah.
What do you know, Diane?
Well, not much. It's cold out there.
Maybe it's cold outside.
Yeah, no kidding.
I wish you'd just get over this and,
I was gonna say spring's supposed to be here tomorrow with that April Fool.
yeah. Baby, it's cold outside.
is there any snow up in the west end?
What's up?
Is there any snow up in the west end? No?
Just what's been on the ground all year long.
I thought maybe.
Since last year.
Since last year.
Close.
They're talking about snow on Lookout.
Supposed to get really bad tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it don't turn into a blizzard because my wife and I are gonna drive over to Freeze Out Lake over by Shoto. You know, look at them snowies.
Do you have to go over a pass?
Yeah, there's one between here, or just the other side of Lincoln, whatever one that is.
Oh, okay.
You go through Lincoln or go through Helena?
Yeah, I'd probably go through Lincoln. It's shorter, I think.
They're expecting snow,
What
expecting
pass
lots of
is that?
snow.
What pass is that, do you know?
No.
So I'm supposed to drive to Boise for Easter next week, and I'm scared to go. I might get stuck down there forever.
some exercise. Up and down the stairs, up and down the stairs.
That's the best kind.
You know, not saying I don't need it.
Well, luckily I have stairs in my house, so I get some that way, because I don't get it otherwise.
Yeah, I'm gonna start utilizing that hour lunch.
Run up and down the stairs?
Well, probably not that, but walking and
Yeah,
light exercising.
yeah. It's a good idea.
Might even, sign up for the.
I've decided it's gonna be just like a Tricon, you can't have full hour, it's gonna be like 10 minutes.
Oh, well, that's okay too.
Make him
As long as I'm
exercise
paid
really
for
fast.
it, right? Huh?
Then you'll have to do it really fast.
Nothing really changes, I never worked at the mill. It was like, all you do is work.
I never ever took lunch.
No, 'cause we were
Remember when
busy.
they came in and said, oh, you guys take lunch?
They have to, well, see, they told me that too, and I never did anyways, because do you want to get stuff done, or do you want me to take a lunch?
Yeah.
And it always came
Up to
down
you.
to
Yeah.
getting stuff done, so. But that's why I worked 14 hours a day too.
So did you get paid
Oh, yeah.
when you worked?
Oh, yeah. They paid us. Is there anything we need, Dwayne, before we get into the, you guys got everything, looks like? Okay, good.
Yeah, and I brought those minutes
Okay,
from the hospital board. They wanted to make sure I provided the approved ones
okay,
that have been already approved.
gotcha,
So we'll be running a month behind.
okay.
And then the library board, I was at the meeting the other day and they said I could just go ahead and.
Yeah, those are still up there, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so,
All right then,
those are there.
perfect. I'm gonna get out of this chair, 'cause I don't like sitting in the commissioner's chairs.
They might start calling you, who's Cheryl you sitting in,
I
Dawn?
think Don's.
Yeah.
What's new, Diane?
Not much. How's your mom doing?
Good, good.
Is she gonna take any trips this year?
I haven't heard. Probably just to Portland and Helena like she normally does.
Where the grandkids, the great grandkids are?
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. That slowed down our international stuff, didn't it?
Yeah. Got wood on her porch yesterday. Hopefully it's the last porch full
Don't count on it.
winter.
I think I was still using my stove in June last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I load up our little porch, it's one cord of firewood.
1 cord?
1 cord, yeah.
Oh, that should last.
Yeah, especially now that the dial's turned down, you know, just,
Yeah.
the heat is just simmering now, it's not
Yeah.
10 below anymore. You know, because then she had her.
Not yet, anyway.
She was going through a cord a month then with.
So, Travis helped build that house that Anita Parkins built out. Or kind of out past where Lucia's lived there.
Oh, yeah, Deary Lane.
Yeah. She's got a deal on there. On the outside, it kind of looks like a chicken box. It's about, it must be about 4 feet tall. And it's got 2 doors that, you know, open like this. And it's a wood box, and you fill that on the outside, and then it goes into the inside. And,
Yeah, that's what we have at my
Yeah.
house
We
too.
have one too.
yeah.
Yeah, so I have the wood.
I wish I'd have seen something like that before I built mine. I'd have
Yeah,
had one.
because my wife didn't want all this bark and stuff
Yeah,
coming through the
yeah,
living
that's,
room.
yeah.
So the stove is there, there's like a little door, and then the door leads to the outside wood box, outside the wall of the house, so then you just pull the wood through and then into the, so then every night the boys would go out and wheelbarrow the wood from the woodshed into the
Into the
outside
box,
wood
yeah,
box, and
yeah.
then,
That's what we have too. And then Dad built the inside, so it looks like part of the bookshelf.
oh,
Yeah, it's got the same doors.
We had similar to going to the basement for coal when I was growing up. My grandparents literally loaded this little dump box and it went into a box down below.
I
yeah,
think they had that here in the old courthouse too.
yeah, they do, that
Yeah.
chute, that coal chute.
Yeah. I think when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
don't know if they were still using it then or not.
This year I got Clayton, looks like a hand truck, only it's got sides on it, and you can stack a full day's worth of wood on the hand truck and just haul it right into the living room, set it right there next to the stove.
Cool.
Save the pitch on his sleeves of his coat when he would bring them in.
Yeah, I love that heat, but it is awful dirty. It doesn't matter how clean you got it, you pack it into your stove and there's something on the floor or on your arm.
Yeah.
Well, we had wood heat in the sitting room up until Dad was about 92 or 3, and he couldn't chop wood anymore, and I can't do it, so.
Yeah,
He could probably have still chopped it, his upper body strength was strong enough, but he couldn't stand up to do it.
well, if the rounds are too big, that's when I have the boys come home and they can swing them all.
Would you please send your boys out when they come home next
Yeah.
time? I've got 2 fir trees that are down
Oh, yeah,
that need to
Now, if
be
you go and
split.
buy wood from Donnie Markin, it's split.
yeah,
I know, I was thinking that, it probably cost me more to have this split than it would be to buy a cord.
that's why I burn wood, is because I'm frugal, I'm not gonna pay.
I bought a cord from him this winter.
We had to too.
I had almost straight red for a little bit of it. Was didn't dry as long as I wanted it to. The stuff we cut out of my yard there didn't dry quite as long as another month of summer, and it would have been fine, but it wasn't quite. So I bought a quart of that lodgepole to mix in with it. It worked pretty darn good.
Uh-huh.
So I have a question, these 2 fir trees were cut down, I think last spring, a year ago, and they sat out all winter in rounds. It'd be better to wait till they dry out thoroughly, they were cut in snow thoroughly
Oh,
before they're
I would,
chopped. Or
if
they
you're not,
split okay now?
well, you're not gonna burn them for a while, or were you gonna use them?
I'm not gonna burn them for a while, but I just wondered when the
I'd
best
split
way
them
to
at
split.
least in half,
So they dry
because
out.
they dry better.
So it wouldn't be any harder to split them wet than they would dry?
Oh, they that way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they had
It
snow.
would, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
snow soaked them
Yeah.
all year, all
Yeah.
winter.
If you could catch it on a cold day, they'll split better when it's cold
Oh, okay.
than when it's warm.
I was just thinking about calling somebody that does, you know,
If it has a
delivers
little
wood.
wood splitter.
Yeah, have them come out.
Roman's got 2, 3 of them.
I know, they're cute.
they live a little bit far away, but we always have one big, come home and we.
You
You
just-
have one here, don't you?
You
Yeah.
just call them and tell them you broke your foot.
Yeah?
You gotta come and help me.
I have some extra canes.
Remember all the meals I fed you?
Yeah, all the toilet paper I bought you,
Yeah.
and the milk for
Even
your
through
cereal.
even through the pandemic, I bought you toilet paper.
Yeah,
Guilt trips.
yeah,
What'd you find out on that?
yeah, that's,
That's
the retired employees, they have to send in a check to keep that active, and then it goes in that fund, a special fund, and then when the premium's due, then Kellan cuts a check from that fund.
Okay. That one's gonna be messed up.
Looks like it might be kind of a quiet day. Too cold to get out there.
Yeah. Did you hear anything on that bill they were pushing? Everybody to comment on yesterday?
Was this the one where they wanted to have term limits for all local?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do all the elections,
we had-
set all the elections. for
We had
one.
only one person that filed for county attorney here for what, 35 years? Nobody else was interested, and nobody else could pass the
Yeah,
bar.
that would probably be the hardest one.
And
of
so,
all.
yeah, if they do an 8-year thing,
Yeah.
we're not gonna not have anybody.
Well, actually, any of them, you know,
Yeah,
because
clerk and recorder. or
there isn't too
treasurer.
many people interested in some of them anyways.
Yeah. And right when somebody starts learning the ropes, then they're done.
They trying to do term limits on
On local,
local,
yeah, and including, I think it even includes school boards and fire districts.
Yeah,
oh jeez.
I mean, those people, they're kind of basically volunteer, and why would they, who's gonna do these
I
jobs?
wonder who thought that up.
I don't know. And I look at Lincoln County, they lost their clerk and recorder, their election administrator, and so there's only one person left in that office. I wonder who's gonna wanna do that.
Okay, I'm a wealth of information.
All right.
A walking encyclopedia.
All right, what'd you find out?
What I find out is that we need to be better readers. Here's why. I love that. I always, all of these are in sewer bills for each department.
Okay, but what, Rowdy, what I was.
I know,
Your
but-
voice down
Oh, it's
there.
the one. Oh. Yes.
Okay, so
Well, I just remembered that other.
I know, and we still need to clear that up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here is the accurate cheat sheet.
All right.
Put this one away. You have your old one? I don't know, she said it wasn't accurate.
So I think it's really interesting that we went back to 1902, but we didn't go back any further, and that's where you found the information, right?
1893,
Yeah,
1895,
we didn't go back
1898.
that far.
Well, you can't have parameters in this business.
No, but we thought we had
I
it,
got a wonderful
was what
copy.
happened. We thought we had it several
You had
times.
a bunch of it,
Yeah, we had a bunch of it.
but it's just.
I'm gonna guess 83.
I was gonna say she's gotta be
Well,
pretty
thank you so
nice.
much
She
for
could be,
doing
yeah,
that.
she
I wanna
would
write my
be.
formula.
And I know that it's her
Chocolate
DNA.
milk, good job.
You know that
Actually,
she,
it's
what
the
did she say, she's
protein.
German, or what did she say
Oh,
she
is
is?
it?
I don't know.
Similar to
Protein.
I asked
insure
her
and
because
stuff
I
like
know
that.
that's
So it's
DNA.
high protein, low carb.
She looked like
So it's not just chocolate milk, it's actually better.
Yes.
Once it's
Oh, so
cooked.
do we go, do we
Got
do
more
that
protein
together?
than the
Are we
average
saying for
chocolate
that
milk.
money or not?
Wow.
And a
that's
ton less
Are we going to put
sugar.
it in together or not for that?
Actually, regular chocolate milk has like 15
Everybody
and
knows.
4 carbs.
I think
This
that
has
call's got to be
27.
in.
Does it taste like
Well,
chocolate milk?
I wouldn't think there would be.
Yeah, it does.
Good.
Okay, let's not.
The fifth basic food group.
Eagle
What'd you tell them to find out about the Title III?
Oh, yes, so take that claim out and make the notation on the claim. It won't change the check, we don't have to disallow anything. It is, according to this, that is check 1031, oh no, claim number
It was got it, I think.
41424. What are you looking for?
I had a stack the other day, I left with you, I think, for Diana.
Yeah, it's here.
Okay,
It was to the printery, right?
Morning.
How's it going?
John?
Mineral independent.
Good.
Mineral
Oh,
independent.
yeah?
I'm so excited to see this, thank you.
Yeah, here's the other thing we found. There was an index of the petitions and the records
Just
they
go
have.
with them, rid of that.
that people had to get rid of before. So I had them shoot me a copy of the index page.
Great.
I need to get access to my agenda so I know.
You sure it wasn't the printer?
It says Independent Valley Press.
There was a separate 6-mile road from Iron Mountain all the way to the, yeah, from the Iron Mountain to the Pacific Station.
glasses
in Iron
on?
Mountain, all the way to the mine.
I
So
know.
where did it cross here, did you find out?
It's Dwayne and Son.
I think they had a ferry crossing
Mine really is.
originally, and they pounded
Like
it.
my garage.
Yes. I
I'm
have to
close
keep
this
her
because I
last.
feel like this cold draft.
Can't remember the
Oh,
year.
there could be.
Yeah,
Oh, look.
AC Johnson.
So,
Here's one that didn't get
Anyway,
signed.
we were looking
there's
at that
a copy of
electric
the
bill.
Yeah.
And that's the
There's also a
petition?
propane bill there for
one,
$1,400.
I haven't gotten
no, I
one
didn't
yet.
see that.
That's
Well,
just from
no, I
the
don't know.
library, I think, maybe.
Is he from Missoula?
Well, I can't
No, he was
remember.
from here, they were all from Missoula then, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
they're all-
yeah, I know.
Okay, so I
But anyway,
didn't get a check.
put that in the
a chance to
record,
go
'cause
through and
that's
check it.
I will.
The rest of the story.
I'm just, and
That's
since there's only like
great.
three left.
So what are you doing now?
Did you wanna check these on here?
Attorney?
I'm gonna talk to the next, but I had to
If
get
you
a
have
chance.
any questions about
A
it.
bunch of other stuff.
I know, I know.
First, when I get done with that, I'll go see Tom. That is something, the story.
Sheriff was really independent.
I've just been using,
I think it's time to start.
I gave you this.
we have the-
We have 5 minutes, don't we?
For the US Bank one,
I've just been looking here and Dwayne has the
I wasn't
claim.
talking to you, Dawn, I wasn't trying
Valley
to keep
Press
time.
been
I was
That's
just
right.
calling.
What am I doing with it, Don?
Circle that resource advisor and tell her what fund it should come on.
So here's your funny story. So I found the original stuff on the CRM on the road.
while you're digging there,
Yeah,
Commissioner Simon, could you
The
find
original petition was filed by. the
claim number
Pacific.
Would it make your
449?
lives easier or harder?
To build it. And the
Yes,
reason is because
so-
all the people
I'm highlighting
were
it, Don.
traveling the wagons and the horses on the railroad track.
Can't path of least
And what
resistance,
is
sounds.
that word?
449?
Well, it wasn't until the train hits you, know. I agree. You're right, Joey. So the NP was pretty distressed. They had all these people on the railroad tracks. So they did the original petition signed by like 195 people to Missoula County to build the road because they didn't want all the people on the railroad track on the way.
Makes sense in the early infrastructure thing.
Oh, yeah.
Were you able to get the, articles of, the articles of organization from Missoula?
Didn't find them yet, no. They looked for me too. Here's what's wrong. This took more time than it should have the other day. We're gonna get it. What happened is when they scanned the books, our books upstairs in the records here, they have big pins and screws. So you can pull the pins and screws and the books open, you can pull the pages. Missoulas were so old, they didn't have that. They were bound, they're hardbound books. So what they did is when they scanned them, Julia, they opened and they pushed down on the binding and took it off the pages, and then they dropped them or threw or didn't put it back.
I don't see.
So I spent hours with the clerk looking for this stuff, a page at a time, putting the pages back in order. So we only did 2 books. There's like 4 other books that should have this in them that are later, because we were back to 1892, 1895. So I think when we need the Articles of Organization for the county is 1914, November 2nd. That's
They
when we
make
got
these
this.
really handy
I
scanners
sure
now
do
for
not.
books, bound books.
Yeah.
That is
Don't
literally
know.
like a
I
wand
highlighted
that you
it
put
and
in
put
the
it-
middle of the book and it crawls
Really
its
tried
way
it
across the
there.
page.
Really?
Yes, and they're cheap. They're inexpensive. They're not big,
Oh,
expensive.
it's on the old
copy-
sheets.
The other thing they
So
did
the
that
old,
was
the old
really
number is,
cool is when they had somebody do it.
the fund number is 2904, and then the account number for that fund number is 420.
So if you have a little
440.
tiny picture of
420, 440?
Correct.
It's blurred
It's
out.
completely illegible, because the pixels, and
Old
it's
one is
huge.
helpful.
So they got,
New one.
what
I
they
know,
did is
the
they
new
didn't
one
pay
is
enough
less
money for somebody.
Okay, so then what
I
did
found,
you
I
need?
found Title II on
And
it.
it's not on
So it
here?
was really
Did you need
disappointing
one?
to get the maps.
Number 449 claim.
So what we ended up doing is like,
A US Bank credit card.
make a photocopy on the copy machine, and then we could sharpen the photocopy of the photocopy. But you couldn't load up on the computer because it was just completely illegible. But I don't think they know that they've got a crawl or they do it, because they should have
They
that,
do.
because that would have saved them
exactly that, old books
Okay,
that are bound.
These are like this tall, this wide, but that would do it
They'd
there.
probably have to work that half a page at a time, because these are normal book size, they're like 11 inch. So if they're longer than 11 inch, but
These are
they
about
exist
this-
now,
These are about this tall and about this
One
wide.
minute.
yeah, they
They
do
were
exist.
hardbound, but obviously we did it, they just went,
Yeah.
You know, I
should
wonder
have
if
taken
that's
time
something the
to-
state would be interested in funding for these counties to be able to digitize their histories.
they should.
I mean, it would seem like a logical way to preserve the physicality of the book, but still be able to get the quality of the information.
Yeah.
Hey,
And truth is,
No, I'm trying to
anybody
get
that
it
knows
straightened out.
Photoshop really good actually can
I
fix
don't
that
know what
problem
this
for you.
is.
The little pictures getting it blown up and having all the pixels. Yeah, anybody that does Photoshop does that. I'm not a photo manipulator, I'm a video girl.
That's what they need, is
You
they
have
should have
this,
done it better,
correct?
but see, they still have the hard records, and they're all like,
I'll put
it's a
it here.
huge place, it's
This
like
is the
twice the
change
size
that
of a
we're doing.
gymnasium.
Here's the old
It's the
one.
old beer warehouse
Oh.
And we're
off Brook
adding,
Street.
Oh, yeah.
They stored beer and lighted it, so it's temperature controlled. and you
I don't see it.
Like that big stairs, racks in it. So they got the room there, it was just awful to pack these books down, and didn't realize.
Oh,
I'll go through it again.
And they also
but we're
didn't
ready now.
realize it
Okay.
wasn't organized
Okay, here
just
we
by
go.
page, it was by section, right?
hello, Rick.
Oh,
You were just going by page.
According to Verizon, it's 10:05, so please stand for the pledge.
Get up.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Gonna keep going now? It's okay. We like to see patriotism. Okay, I don't think there's any little newsy things that I need to bring forward. Everything that we have except the minutes are on the table.
thank you, sir.
Minutes are not ready yet. So, we will begin with the first item on the agenda, 10:05, public comment.
Hello, Julie Miller. I had come to Roman in a phone call this week because, okay, let me start over. When you guys put out your agenda and you guys are scheduled to have office hours, generally those office hours are here in this room, correct?
Generally,
Okay, when you're not in this room, how does the public know where you're at?
They usually ask Darren.
When Darren's not in his office? Because I knocked on the door, nobody's there.
Oh,
sometimes
So-
that happens. So you know what, Julie, I think a great, note on the door.
So I had asked Darren exactly that. Could we, make a notice to somebody, because there was a health department meeting or hospital meeting in here and Roman was upstairs.
yeah.
So the public had no access to Roman.
I did get a
I
couple
ended up-
visitors, but yeah, I suppose there were some people that did catch Darren.
Yeah, exactly. So, on that, I called Roman and I asked, when you guys are putting out the agenda, like this week, when you have the resolution that you have that is currently in place and then you want to change it, perhaps you could attach those things when you send your final agenda so that the public has time to review them before the meeting and send you email or comment about those agenda items that are looking to be changed. So today we come in and we have the resolution on the table and the change you want to make on the table, but the public had no access to it prior to today. And yet you want to change it today. So it's kind of, I see you guys are not quite utilizing what we have available to us, and I think that that would make more sense than printing up pages and pages and pages, and the public still doesn't have the ability to access it. If it's in a PDF, now you can not only send it out on your agenda, you can send it out to your website and have your agenda, your website, and the attachments. Because there are things that the public wants to know, but we don't get time to know, like the minutes before you approve them, which brings me to, please note, this is public comment. I'm asking to get on the agenda again, about the agenda. We've talked about it many times. It's made it to the agenda one time. It was asked to be an action item. It was denied as an action item. I am now asking you guys to take this seriously. We need a good agenda. Passing the minutes is not a ministerial item. You have to think and you have the ability to change your draft before it is approved, and you're asking the public for feedback if they see any errors in your minutes. So putting minutes on the agenda enables the public to indeed give you the feedback, but enclosing that as an attachment to your agenda, your final agenda, would enable the public who was here but can't be here this week to offer any changes they feel or need to be made. So agenda is not a ministerial item. It is something that takes thought, discussion, and sometimes changes. So I'm asking you to adjust the agenda to reflect the public information that we like to be participatory in, and that we would like the information in advance of the meeting and not all of it on the table the day that we show up, if we're able to show up. Some people can't be here every week. So I appreciate that. I will submit the agenda request.
Are there any other comments right now? So I'll take a minute just to comment that the changes are actually on the agenda that we want. 11:15 to 11:25, we did put in there the sentence that we would like to revise. We put the old and the new in there because that will be an action item today. So it is there on the agenda.
It is there as one sentence, and the change
Because
of word.
it's just one sentence.
And that's not full transparency. Full transparency is having the resolution and the draft resolution that you would like to pass. Not, we're changing this sentence. Now, anybody that sees the agenda and has never seen the context of that sentence has no clue.
Okay,
So I have a question. Is the
could you come to the, well, it's not,
Are we
if, do you have a
discussing?
public, no, I just wanted to let her know that it is noted on the agenda what the change, what the old is and what the new would be. I just wanted to point that out.
I just wondered if the resolution was on the website.
I don't know, you'd have to ask Darren.
Nope, it's not.
Okay, so
Do you
moving
know-
on
do
to.
you know what the website can accommodate in terms of attachment things? I'm not.
Yeah, we can put anything on
Yeah,
there.
okay.
Yep.
When is it gonna be updated?
This isn't a discussion for the website right now. This is public comment. Happy to take your public comments. I just wanted to interject during the downtime that it was actually on the agenda. Okay. Any other public comments?
Diane Magone. I just wanted to comment, and he's not in here, but I wanted to thank Wally for all his work on the Sierra Mountain Road. He's found more information, and I'm happy to see that. And he photocopied one of the original petitions, well, Missoula County in 18-something, late 1800s. But that people were living here. It was before it was Monroe County, of course. And I did recognize a couple of names on it, Wilkinson and Lynch. So, yeah, the Lynch brothers and three Wilkinsons, I don't know which, but, yeah, so, anyway, I just
No
appreciate,
McGones?
we didn't come here until 1920s. So, actually, earlier than that, but, like, they were up Flat Creek before that, but they are in Mountain Road, but, I just appreciate the fact that we're pursuing this, and I know that a number of people in our county, and especially in this area, appreciate it, as shown by our previous petition that was signed by lots of people. So thank you very much to you guys, to the commissioners, and to Wally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Name's Clayton Ward. I have I guess it's kind of an issue. And I know you have rules, you set rules and stuff like this, but pertaining to this 3-minute deal and then no second trip back up to the podium, if we have a full room right here and say, I speak for my 3 minutes, as you see, we have a full room, that's being sarcastic a little bit, but there's nobody else here, why are you dead set fast on saying you can't come up for a second time if you're cut off? I mean, 2 weeks ago, I sat there and I watched you cut somebody off, and then we sat here for 15 minutes with nobody coming up to a podium, and that person was not allowed to come back up to the podium. I don't understand that, and it makes no sense to me, or probably to a lot of other people. I understand the 3-minute up here at a time. But if nobody's here and nobody's coming up, why can't somebody else come back up and finish what they wanted to say? That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Clayton. Welcome, you can come in. Were you able to do that resource? Change that?
I highlighted it and wrote on the side of it. If you look at it. You did make it aware of it.
Mm-hmm. And definitely send it there.
This is what we're doing this weekend. We're gonna get snowed out. Don't let you see the snow and sit figure out.
So that'd be like geese.
And some swans.
What was this? Is there one how they would assign it to it, or?
That's the only problem I've seen.
Okay. It's probably, it's on this one, see, this is this a new one? Must be, that's in my folder?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay. Oh, Commissioner Smalley, my last name has 2 L's. Is that one?
Well, you know, it's
No, he does not.
double
make
R,
sure that you
double
word
R
it.
and double L?
Yeah. I
Okay.
know there's this,
I must have went to school in Elbert.
What? Oh, there is?
yeah, you better just.
Do they say it Terrell or Terrell in the South? Oh,
Dave always sings it.
oh, really?
Well, it's the one that we don't want to sing it.
Said we went to school in Elbert.
Yeah, I did.
guess.
I don't even know how to spell St. Regis.
Notice I always make sure Salawi is spelled.
Yeah, you're very good at that.
I am.
No, okay, I'll try hard. Double R, double L. Did you, were you able to get in the PDF and change the when I typed it?
I didn't change it.
Yeah,
It is left
there a lot.
Terrell.
Have your secretary do it.
So are you keeping
Yes.
busy around here?
I want to write down what it is. 'Cause I don't think this was on my sheet. Review, delisting the grizzly bear, is that what this is? Okay, all of us?
Are you busy, huh?
Okay, we'll get your signature, and then we'll put it in this folder for
So,
Darren.
your pilot's license.
Oh, this, I'm signing this.
A credit card receipt? No, no. I'm checking the plate. Cross reference. Receipt.
Yeah, I want you to know.
I'm trying, well, there's a hotel one, but I haven't seen this
Had
hotel.
access, something like that.
Good for you, good for you. We missed it. It's a hotel
Fee.
fee.
Something like that, something.
Yeah.
Something along that line, Wells Fargo or definitely don't want to go by there. Not really interested.
My cousin was going to do that, we have Leo.
I'll just go through
Yeah,
the
pretty
hotel
good.
and see if
Really?
it's attached.
Yeah, well, he had spear.
Somebody traveled and they had a $705 hotel fee.
In fact, it was
It's coming through, man. Is that the one from Lakers?
after 9/11.
Luke Boyce was
They
on
wanted
there,
to
and
buy
somebody else, and then
US commercials.
a,
You know,
that was 300 of it, and then there was another 150 for membership or something. Lakers.
Well, it's out of the sanitation.
Yeah, you ever watch him? He's my best
You
player.
just can't watch it.
But I wonder if they mixed it up, because that would make sense, that maker there would be,
Yeah, but that doesn't come out for seven, though,
You didn't want to do it anyway.
well, 3 of them times how many nights?
I don't want to call it that much anyway, but it doesn't have to sit there and just sit there.
So can I go, Madam Chair, with the public comment?
Yeah,
You can, I'll text you.
Okay.
What's the next one?
10-4.
Oh, he was tall. I don't know, oh. He was mean.
Dave told me.
Okay, my problem.
Oh,
I'm joking, I don't even
I
know
know,
Dave.
I know, I know you're joking, because I know you don't say
I
that.
know.
What's next one?
And I don't know if they put you in first class, I
How are we
doubt it.
gonna start this?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna open it up, you guys can start.
So he was kind of relieved at that, his pilot's license in the airport. So.
Yep.
Did Darren do it?
It's finally got kind of a handle on the headaches.
Is public comment worth what we're
Yeah,
saying?
got that. I had to.
No, I just, can we talk with you guys just briefly while you're?
Yeah, I think so, because there's, I'm going upstairs, though.
Yeah, I don't have something to say to you. I mean, we're coming today, but not
I
for,
mean, when I told you
not
guys,
for public.
I think I can.
Well, we like you to
I did.
No,
have something to
I
say.
don't.
You've done such a good job.
Sue and Jeannie are gonna do it today.
Oh,
I mean, it just makes me a wreck. I don't know why, I know everybody in the room.
maybe that's part of it. But I used to do it before people I like, I
We
knew it
found
was hard.
her.
So full of energy.
And I love it when you,
I mean, not
this is my time.
And it's so funny, I didn't even know we had time or time limits, you know, and I'm just
we
really.
just got an invoice
You
for some
didn't get
reason.
a
They weren't
haircut
coming.
yet.
But
And
here's
he
how
just
I
needs to
did
talk
it,
about there.
I
I
guess.
think that's the rules,
Here's,
right?
Well, we're just
So,
learning. We used to
we
be able
did
to
ask
do that.
you
We used to
guys.
do that. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Oh.
That people were
So it'd be
talking
easy
about
enough for
other
us to
things
do
that didn't even
ourselves.
pertain to the subject. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. Got crazy. off track.
I don't care.
Yeah, we do, and they're doing a much better job.
Yeah.
They're much faster. I need to go review the platform that they gave us on how Duos is managing our schools. So, and I love when I call, one of the top people there,
Yeah.
because she knows our stress, she gets back to me immediately. And I just am so pleased with that. No, that's Garrett, and this is Garrett. I'm gonna hold on. What are we doing with these right now? It says they're not on our, what's it for? Architect.
Everybody should be
And that was always my
comfortable
point.
coming into this room saying things, but
What's he applying
it's
for?
hard when you hear people.
Hey, today the planning board? Really? Next week, we have a tax appeal applicant. We'll have that on the agenda to,
I need to say that
is Andy coming in for that?
Well, and the thing is there's a lot of points I
And
agree with.
next week, we will be appointing a tax appeal board member.
Oh,
I had Derek with us.
It's just like,
Oh, no, we will, Kelly had said discuss if evaluations will discuss. Do we need to get that?
Unless they do something over there. They're not gonna say that. It's gonna feel really good.
certain things.
So I have my $20,000 house, I still live in my $20,000 house. Built my travel, so I'm
Well, I think that's why they.
I would so do that. I just want to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Tell you,
that's
I
a
lived in
great
one for a
thing.
while.
I
I lived in one for a long time. I said, 3 of them. The second one, I got it fixed up to my specifications. And I had a friend of mine down in Bitterroot, built me a little wood stove.
Well,
And it was,
I got here.
machine shop, they could stamp the metal out and stuff.
So as soon as I figured I'd have an easy, peaceful transition, I'm like, okay, I can work on some school things. That wasn't the case. I ended up being people's hands and legs and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
My mom's like,
Yeah, I put big chunks on it, 2 chunks in it. You understand, living like these rubber boots on, and it's supposed to be a straight, it's a sort of room, but the second part of it, and they're all really rock.
They're so lucky to have you.
Leave that thing going all day long.
I don't mind it. It's been great work because I'm used to like just
Well, you know, I like
to chop wood.
Walton camping. The reason we don't do that anymore is because I can't manage the holes. And so Dave had steel stuff, because we did just trees. And that, I can't do steel poles anymore. But he has a wood burner, yeah, we have a wood burner in it, and I couldn't live in it because there's no stove. I mean, what would you do, maybe rake the dirt?
Yeah, yeah, move a bale of straw.
So it's not just,
Yeah, I've been in
Yeah.
They're pretty tight.
Yep, when Abby was just a little girl. And it was interesting because, yeah, it was very interesting. The Walton did not go down, but like the cots and stuff, that all went flying, but the Walton did not.
Different battles going on.
also about this.
Made home all right.
I'll show you the
She said,
house.
"Don't worry about it too much." But had that wrapped around.
She said he's gonna take her, I got her rafting and then Donna's gonna row.
I don't know about whitewater.
Yeah.
My commercial.
I I get it for
He just got it done. And then we did all the dishes. She did the dishes, yeah. Yeah, seriously. And then we stayed in there. It's just like,
Yeah, well, we did to help
that's the
them
sort
out.
of stuff that
Because they said not
parent was working on.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
Right in the
we
back,
did anyway.
Yeah, right.
100 summaries, that sort of thing.
Excuse me, I'm John.
All that stuff. So it's just like this is kind of like in full circle for us. It's like I've done
Yes, you
everything
do.
from work
Yes, you do.
from
Yeah.
fire.
Well, no, because your first name is my middle name. And I thought, do I throw that into it, this conversation, or do I just, go Ginny instead of yes? And they tell my mom all the time, I say, why they all
So I know exactly where it needs to.
see, everybody does, everybody does. It's like, yeah,
But he's working on that final part of that
Ginny,
pile right there.
no, I know that I've seen you, I know that we had talked and everything, but I don't know if it's
okay,
so happy to have you
yes.
here.
And I'm doing the museum presentation, Monday at 10:59. Yeah. I think this is like fabulous. And do I talk to these people and tell them what we're doing?
What you do is when you get through the commission.
Yes. Okay, oh, and good.
No, I don't know, I don't
My
read my
knows
notes.
how to get all the timber for the pavilion and get the thing for
And
free.
then when they put it online, they sold millions of them. Wait, that's not what they like.
Listen to this.
They built up the farm, or this big, beautiful luxury lodge with food on there.
Up in Trek?
Are you not talking about Shinerock?
No, that, I don't shine like this.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know.
The NRC timber was like for free.
But you can't see from the road.
And you're not doing this horse farm?
Yeah, ask Louis, because now I wanna know if that's Cantrell's or whose that is.
Whose lodge is up Dry Creek, just a little ways, and Skip works there.
And then
So
see,
it used to belong to,
That's a
Brooke, but he sold it to somebody.
Yeah, but the guy I knew that Janice worked for, he was a private pilot that had it for a
Everyone's
while.
got what they can do.
Yeah, I don't know
You don't know
who
that
that,
one?
I've never met him.
It's when Brockways did all the work up there
Yep.
and made that big
Yep,
beautiful pizza.
yep. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Who has it now?
No, I don't.
Like 6 months or 5 months. So still-
Gotta keep it fast, I can warm my coffee, get a sip in.
No.
Let's sip it while we're doing business. She was talking to Mark, who owns that, he didn't know what she was talking about, so I thought you.
You know, so we were out Oregon, and our friends were looking, and they're showing me this place, and it's like $1 million, whatever, it's crazy. Now, we don't have anything like that, I'm gonna go to Sean Dusty, because we don't have anything like that. Yeah, they never said, yes, they built one, and I just wanted to
These were big, they're big two by fours. A big bed.
There's $1 million up in Dry Creek.
Oh, I was asking Wade, we have another
That's
person
what
here.
it is.
No, I was just telling you.
What if you put a fan there?
Have you ever walked to the
And you'll see this big one there.
Okay, my porch, they were
Okay.
on a date.
Yeah, because I go down also. I was like, on Dry Creek, so back down the side, going down the little trails and stuff like that. I was, yeah, always.
Yeah, I'm in the wild.
Yeah, and I had mine built by the Amish in St. Ignatius. Oregon.
That's where my first cheese was there.
Who's your cousin?
And Skip there was also.
Okay, oh, okay, yeah, but St. Ignatius, don't they do?
And now they put things.
I'm so excited.
That takes a whole lot of it.
And we can, like I was telling Sue, we can put the plants up, like you said, local material, Yes, yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check and see what Verizon says. We have 2 minutes.
I was trying to see if I had enough time to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, run.
New Tucker Horse. So I couldn't close this.
Did I ever write this down?
And so we would.
MOU. Am I giving this to Darren?
Not that I can do it.
service.
Okay, I think, I'm so ready to go.
I'm gonna go back to writing stuff upstairs, but anyway, so that's.
All right, I'm gonna drop your
And
name.
that's the line of this.
And we're live.
Lana is 71 miles south of Redmond, 14 miles from Idaho. It's 14 miles from Idaho, and I work for McKenna.
Right, that's what I put in the.
I was gonna write that, too rich for my blood.
So we're down there.
You did the three.
Yeah.
I thought there was a 300. You said you done a day.
Well, it was,
I'm gonna, yeah, I'll have to make a presentation and get some.
For both of you, maybe that's what oh, I thought it was for Isaac.
no, she paid like
So would we?
Oh, yeah, that's not bad. We would never go to REO because Dave twice.
In the past, it would go up like monthly, hit send, and they all go up, but
We
we
either
talk
event,
about
so
sending
I
it
was
up.
telling him about it.
Drafted and approved.
Usually the way it happens.
So,
Yes, oh, yes.
talk to them, but he can hit send, he just hasn't, because it's not the end of the month yet.
Because he took a lot of
See.
things off.
But he never has.
Oh,
I wanted him to go back.
yeah.
There's another
You understand
guy
my concern,
that's kind of like
Roman? You understand my concern?
John Prine.
Yes.
Look at my phone.
I will, yeah. All right, Verizon says it's 10:35, so we are going to open with discussion of the following items: videotaping meetings, tabletop microphones, Zoom, and translation into Spanish. So, commissioners, how would you like to start this conversation? Do you want to open it up,
Well,
or?
I just thought that since people make the comment at the podium and we can't necessarily respond, that
Yeah.
to put it on there for us to discuss and decide if that is something we can entertain or handle, or, you know, is our support staff enough to do some of these suggestions or not, or, so, yeah, I just thought that would be something we can discuss and decide if it's even within our realm of possibilities.
Well, I would answer that by saying one of them, tabletop microphones. I hear from a lot of people in the back of the room, there's always so much chatter going on, and whether it's in the halls or the back of the room, but they cannot hear. So I would like us to delve into tabletop microphones. Any comment here about the tabletop
So you-
microphones?
Yes,
saying-
please.
Yes.
You're saying that that would be a good, oh, sorry.
No, I just thought,
You-
I
you're-
am saying, yep, I would like us to go into purchasing tabletop microphones. So if you have a comment, could you come to the podium so everybody can hear? Thank you.
Could I make a suggestion?
In 1 second, Sue, and I'll have you
Go
come.
ahead, Sue, please.
No, I just would like you to turn the podium a little bit this way so that they're talking to you, but also the sound is coming out here more.
Thank you. Next time I have to have you come to the podium. Yeah.
So there are some pretty inexpensive options for you guys,
Okay,
as far as tabletop microphones and speaker and a microphone for the public, since this is Ken Burley's equipment right now. I suggest that you look towards things that, instead of going for audio equipment, they're gonna charge you a lot of money for that. Look at your karaoke equipment.
Oh.
It does the same thing, and you can get them much less expensive. And you can get 2 microphones, one here, one there, one speaker. Ta-da! Just saying.
Great, great.
So there are very inexpensive ways to do that, and I would suggest not trying to find the high-end stuff like this, because you're gonna outprice yourself.
okay,
So.
thank you.
And I think it would help everything.
Yes, I'm Clayton Ward. I'm in favor of you guys getting mics because first off, I'm deaf in one ear and can't hear very good out of the other one. As you notice, I have hearing aids, which really don't do much justice unless there's a lot of noise. So I would appreciate it if you guys would do something like that.
Thank you.
Were you talking about like this a little bit? There you go.
Okay, Clayton.
Go ahead, Dan.
I'll just move this forward a little bit so I'm a little closer to the, how's that? Is that good? Okay. Can you hear me okay? I agree. I think that it would be very helpful, and I know sometimes our voices get a little quieter as we speak, so I would agree and support that idea, however you can do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Old rockers never die.
He's one of the ones I can't hear.
Yeah, because Wally, you said you might have some microphones.
I do. Way too many of them. Mine are free if you want. Hi, this is Wally. Here's the science behind it. It's not only a function of some of us don't hear as well, too many years of rock and roll, too many John Deere B tractors, too many bulldozers, Clayton probably on the ship too many years, the noise does it. But if you go sit down in the back, what you have is a tremendous amount of what we call ambient noise. So it's not just the lights going with their little sound that kind of deafens your sound and we can hear you, but it also is the blowers. The fan that pushes the air through these vents, that noise is there too. So that kind of backs off some of the sound we can hear because of the ambient noise. And when you put this is not very many people today. You have 5 right there. But when you have 30 like you did the other day in the other row, that deadens the sound. So we're playing in Missoula tonight and tomorrow for Lamb of God. We had 370 last night. The difference in the sound system in the church is 4 with nobody there, and they crank it to 8 with 370 people, because that many people filter the sound that much more. So I think Roman's point's well taken that we don't know what we need one way or the other way, but when we have a crowd of people, it's harder to hear. And that's just the science of what filters the sound, and that's all it is.
Thank
So
you.
it's kind of your choice, but that's it.
Yep.
And the ambient sound in the back is a lot more because the air vents, I don't know why, if they're frustrated, but I can hear them really well back there, much more than I hear them when I talk to you here.
Thank you.
I'd also like to point out that one of the great things I found at University of Montana is their auto.
Up here so everyone can hear you, please.
Sorry, I yell so loud I forget. One of the things I found out through the University of Montana, whichever one's in Bozeman.
MSU.
It wasn't the one in Missoula.
Montana State,
So the one in Bozeman, the university has a program that will translate video, audio into words. And I know that YouTube does it, but YouTube is not as great at it. But the better our sound coming off of your table is, then that enables us to be able to, enables me to be able to attach that to the videos. And now you're meeting in a higher standard, which is the ADA standard of people that can't hear can now read it. So just another reason. I think somebody said the Fair Board may have stuff you can use until you get stuff. Is that maybe a possibility you'd consider?
Thank you. The only reason I
Anna
want to
Marie,
hustle
by
us
the way.
along is because we have a lot of topics here, but I would like to ask if we have a motion for tabletop microphones.
I would make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
If there's no further discussion. Okay. Motion carried. Tabletop microphones. Thank you. And now let's go to videotaping meetings. I jumped right into the microphones. I have a little bit of information on, I'll just start it, videotaping meetings, and then you two can get some discussion. So we know, going through DIS, that we can get a camera system for about $1,500, and we've checked into the storage. Yes, you have to pay a fee, but it would be the commissioner's taping, which I don't foresee as a problem because you would hit the button to record, hit the button to stop, and then the uploading to the website, I think, is pretty easy. I have directions already for that. So there's a little bit of information for you guys to digest. About, I think I said, it's between $1,400 and $1,500 to videotape, to have the equipment to videotape our meetings.
And then the website could accommodate how many meetings on
I'd have to go back and read my notes from them. They told us how to do it, so we could bypass them and just load it ourselves. And the thing you have to be careful of, which they already have that going on, is the speed that they can take the video so that it
The
plays
space,
correctly.
The megabyte.
So it would be hosted by the state?
No, it wouldn't be hosted by the state, but I do ask you to come to the microphone because they want to hear what you're asking.
So who would be hosting your video?
By hosting, do you mean who would be, I'm not
Where
sure.
would you be uploading your video to?
The website.
What website? Your
Our
website?
county website, yes.
Okay. One of the suggestions that was made was perhaps a work session on the video, because I think you may be jumping in both feet without understanding how that works. If you put a 3-hour video on your website, it is over 3 gigabytes of material. Every single person that views that now costs you your bandwidth of 3 gigabytes if they watch it to the end. I'm positive you do not want to pay that. You're not going to be able to afford that. I'm getting in excess of 1,000 views on some of these videos, and weekly I'm topping over 300. If you do the math on that for bandwidth, you're going to be paying so much money. You're going to be paying more than the webmaster is getting paid to redesign the site, much less. So I think that one of the suggestions made was maybe a work session before you decide. Getting the equipment is great, and if they pay for it, that's great. But there's a million different ways that you could do this that can cost you
Yes.
money or cost you less.
Yeah, what I think that the point I want to make here is that it won't be a YouTube video. So we have already researched with our web people. They gave us instructions, they told us what they need, what we need. I'm happy to, take a look at the cost, but the point is, it won't be a YouTube video. So any discussion, any more discussion on that? Yeah.
Diane McGowan. I just want to say that I went onto Missoula's and Missoula County's website, and I was able to watch on their website their meetings, and it was very simple to do. But so I'm wondering if maybe, and I know Missoula probably has a lot more technological equipment available, but maybe checking with them to.
Sure.
Say they got more money.
That's true too. I agree. So yeah, or some of the other counties that are doing it already. So there's.
Thank you for your suggestions, and I think the positive point here is that we are moving forward with videotaping our meetings. So I think that's the positive thing. And if we need to schedule a work session, or if you want each one of us to keep going and researching with our website the cost, we can do it that way and bring it back. It doesn't make any difference to me how we do that.
Good idea.
So if we did have a work session to educate us on these unknowns, gigabytes, et cetera, who would be a good presenter, or would it be our
Well, I think our website.
website host?
Yeah.
I would ask that I get invited as well, since I have a lot of experience on streaming as well.
So Julia, when you say streaming, what do you mean?
Streaming means video over online, whether it's live or it's paid or whether it's free.
Okay.
Streaming means how do you get video to the masses?
Internet streaming.
Okay, and so what I would say is, as far as inviting you, I can make a note and ask Darren to invite you. I don't know when that will take place, but I would say, look at your tentative agenda to see if it's happening so that you don't get missed in any way. But I would like to also say I would have our web people host that for us, probably on phone. So they will be our number one, and you are certainly invited, Juliet. So again, the positive, we're moving forward on this.
I have a question, and this is very specific, and I think you'll understand it very clearly. Do you plan on only videotaping the agenda items or the entire meeting?
We will follow what we know to be the correct way to do it for us, and that's gavel to gavel. We will do
That
gavel
didn't
to
answer the
gavel.
question, because gavel to gavel can mean many different things. You use
No.
the gavel to quiet people, you use
No.
the gavel to bring attention.
We will use the gavel for each agenda item. That signal's done, and then the video goes off until we
No,
bring-
ma'am.
Okay, let's not argue this, we can talk about it. We were instructed it's gavel to gavel. So we will,
Who instructed you of that? Seriously, who instructed you of this?
Someone who, I think she's even licensed to videotape, Mary. And it's, gavel to gavel is our intent.
No, that is not the law of your meetings. Your meetings are all public, just
Well-
like the 60 minutes from 9 to 10 is also
That
public.
is public, absolutely
But
public.
you don't gavel at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the
I will.
public has the right to know what you're doing in
I
that
will.
90 minute, or in that 60 minutes, including passing minutes.
Yeah, that's why it is on the agenda, everything that
That
we
needs
do
to be
during that
recorded
time.
as well.
But Juliet, we don't have a problem recording that. I'm
But
not
you
sure
just-
what the issue is. I will open the meeting.
Because you just
I will
contradicted
open the-
yourself.
No, I'm gonna, okay, it's 9 AM, we will open the meeting now. And so the
But
video
that's not
goes
what
on.
you're doing yet. You've
No.
not done that yet.
Okay, you're right, I haven't, because we're not going gavel to gavel, are we?
I don't know.
Yeah,
The
you do,
targets
because you
move every
keep
week.
your-
The targets
Yes,
change
you
every
do.
week. It's difficult to know.
But you keep your video cam on even all the time in between our breaks. I haven't needed to gavel because you told us you're keeping it on.
Correct.
So when we are taping, it is going to be gavel to gavel.
Including your administrative hour in the morning.
Yeah, that can go on there. We don't have a problem
It
with
should
that.
be. It should
Okay.
be on there.
Yep, when we're videoing, it will be on there. Thank you.
Well, and Diane again, I don't see anything wrong or restricting you from continuing to videotape if you want. Your way.
No, I'm not.
I think this is for the minutes that need to go in, I mean.
It's not even for the
official
minutes.
Oh, for the
It is-
official
yep,
meetings.
It's just going to be videotaped.
Yes, yes, so, I mean,
Will
other
we do our
people can
minutes
do it
from it?
differently
I
if they
don't know.
want, right?
Will we be,
Dawn?
excuse me?
Other people can do it differently if they want, right?
Yeah.
So-
But that's our intent right there.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Okay,
Real quick. I don't know. Clayton Ward again. I don't know. I guess I don't understand gavel to gavel, because gavel is supposed to start a meeting and end a meeting, not with start, stop, start, stop, stop, start. Once the time the meeting starts, to the end of the day, when the meeting goes, is when the gavel should come down at the end. Not this every half hour, let's hit the gavel and go what we want. That's just my opinion.
Thank you. So what I would ask here is, how do you want to do this? Do you want to have a work session where we have our web people present? Or do you want each of us to go ahead and do our own research and bring it back and present it? What would you like? Do you want to table this for a work session? What's your
Well,
thought?
maybe if we had a work session, then we could all ask questions of the website guy or whatever and figure it out at the same time. Because if we do it individually, somebody might not spur the other one's mind to ask a question or get it covered. You know, if we're all in the same room and then questions come up, then we can ask them. And then if we did it individually, we might be asking the same question over again to somebody else, or we might not ask the question.
Well, we can still do it individually.
Yes.
Yeah, you can still, yeah,
Contribute it at the work session.
yeah.
Okay. Now, we do have a work session taking place next Wednesday, I think.
What's the topic?
Resource,
Different different work session.
yeah, a work session, what did I call it?
Yeah.
We could go ahead and schedule this work session for
Yeah.
okay, are you agreeable to that?
Yeah, if we're down here anyway, right?
Juliet, so Wednesday, it'll be on our agenda that we already have one work session scheduled for maybe an hour. So we will add to that work session to include this. Okay, so that's tabled. We're tabling the videotaping decision. And we're gonna move real quick. We are limited for time. Yes?
I did have a question because I'm confused still.
So you're recording as official record or not?
You know, that I think is still undetermined, whether that will be official. It will be videoed, we will still do official minutes. Will that be designated official videotaping?
No, because then you have, then you
Yeah.
have, then you have to preserve it in perpetuity. and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. If
No.
this was gonna be the official record, then
No, our
going
official-
into the work session,
Yeah.
there's different information.
Yeah, no, not official,
Okay.
but we will do the
Yeah,
videotaping.
The written minutes will be the official and perpetuity
Yes.
preserved record.
Okay.
And this is just gonna be on there for, like Bozeman keeps theirs on there for a while, and then they take them down
Yeah.
and they repost them for the next week. But yeah, if you did it as official,
No,
then you'd
yeah.
have to
Right.
store it and.
And we really, that wasn't our intent.
No.
So we don't have much time. We're gonna get to, there's two other ones. Let's do the Spanish first. Translation into Spanish discussion.
Diane Magone, and while I appreciate that happening in areas where we have a lot more population, I'm not aware of it happening anywhere in Montana. And we could also have people that don't understand English, that speak other languages. I think that it would be overwhelming. I really would question how many people it would benefit. So that's I don't
Thank
agree
you.
with it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for bringing this up. Part of my comment is from Anna Marie as well, who had brought this up. I had brought to the attention of Darren and I believe to Roman, about using the website to include your handouts. When you send the final agenda out, perhaps you could send out the original resolution and the corrected, or the one that you would like to pass. That way the public has the ability to see it in advance. But if you published it to the website, then anyone who wants to translate it into any language can save that PDF, and PDF Acrobat Reader has the ability to translate it for them. So you are kind of taking care of that in any language they want to translate it into when you provide a PDF in the public eye that they can go get, they can save, and now they can run it through their Acrobat Reader. So I think that there's a very easy solution for that by utilizing your own website for the same handouts that are on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what the Spanish people, I think, are asking for. So just same thing with the video translation. It can also be translated into another language using U of M? MSU, thank you. Using MSU's program that does do the translation and transcripts. So just saying, there's a lot of things out there that once you put the information in the public, they can go and do that for themselves, and you don't have to, so.
Thank you. That's a really nice alternative for us. It would, if we chose to do that, it would take a while, I think, for Darren to be able to get that done. But I think that's a very good solution, and I do appreciate that. And then, time-wise, I'm sorry, we're actually over, but we are gonna go on really quick, and we don't have a lot of time for the discussion of Zoom. I wanna open this up to you guys to start it.
Well, if we're gonna do the video piece, I don't know if the Zoom part is necessary. It seems like it would also maybe require more fees to have a host. If there's more complications if computers aren't matching or aren't working. There's been so many times people can't get entered in or allowed in. It just seems like that our Zoom that we try to do has been more problematic than helpful.
And after Diane gives a comment, I do want to speak to that very thing that you just
Okay,
said.
my comment is, as you guys know, Diane Magone, I have wanted Zoom forever, and I've come to the commissioners at least on 2 occasions previously. We use it in hospital board meetings, we use it in our Mineral County, whatever it is, Resource Coalition meetings, several other ways, and once in a while there are technical problems, you're right, not very often. So, and it's $150 per year. I actually have a Zoom account, it's not expensive, and it's really effective, we've already got the equipment. So I, as you know, agree that we should have Zoom.
Thank you. If I could take just a minute, maybe you want to respond first.
You know what my response is.
Well, I want to say that I do agree. I think purchasing
Yes.
all of the video equipment and the tabletop mics is going to do a tremendous amount of progress. That'll be a tremendous amount of progress for us. With Zoom, I am not an advocate for Zoom for a lot of different reasons, but one of the reasons is it doesn't work in the West End reliably. Also, anytime, we have a lot of brownouts here, and if your internet connection goes down even for 3 seconds, you might have missed the beginning of what Dwayne said, and you're getting the tail end of it, and now there's an uproar because you didn't hear the first part. So I, again, am going to state my firm belief that Zoom right now is not something I am interested in doing as a commissioner. But I love all of the other suggestions. I think every one of them will work 100% for us.
Diane again, I would just like to see this tabled for another meeting because I know it's time for the museum people. And I think there's more discussion that might help.
Dwayne, do you have any input?
I've never had any use for Zoom. I've never sat through a meeting that it worked correctly, for one thing. And, you get to reading around, you look at security problems and stuff being invaded or whatever you want to call it, hijacked. Not that don't have anything here that's too secret, or some people think it is. It's not. But no, I'm not in favor of Zoom.
I agree with Dwayne. It's a pain in the behind. I think what might be getting lost in translation is a lot of people are using the word Zoom when what they really want is live feed. So I'm asking you now if it is a problem for me to change equipment and to use a tabletop, like TV tray, over here where I always sit, and I will live stream on YouTube. I don't want to bring this as a surprise to you, that's why I'm asking. I don't need anything else than what I already have, other than bringing a table that I can set things on. If that will help the public, then that would be great. I intend on still continuing to record, but if you guys will enable me to use a TV tray, I can resolve this whole live feed thing and just do the YouTube channel with the live feed, so.
Juliet, I appreciate your willingness to help us out. I do, really quick before we have to stop the meeting, I want to give you my opinion on that because I don't want anyone to be blindsided. I am not an advocate of live stream, period. So I would not vote to have you do that. I don't know how the other guys feel, but I don't want you to be blindsided when I say, no, I'm not for that.
I would really love to hear why.
I'm not for that. I don't want live stream going on YouTube. YouTube is creating a lot of nastiness out there. I don't think it's appropriate, and I don't think our county needs that. We will provide the taping and all these other things, but I don't believe that live stream is in our best interest.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I've only been involved in Zoom one time with my daughter when she did the 4-H thing, and those people that she was Zooming with, they could all interrupt and talk anytime they wanted. So I didn't know in the,
You can put them on mute. You can mute them.
oh, you can mute them? Okay, that's only my quick question,
Yeah,
is how do
thank
you
you.
keep them from all
You
talking?
can, but then you do still have, you might have 500 raised hands in the meeting to answer. So we do have to move along because we are over, but for me, I don't even see the need to table that particular issue, but I don't know how you guys feel.
To table the Zoom?
Right, to table or just say no.
Say no.
So we have do you want to make a motion? Do we need a motion for that? We did make a motion to go with the microphones. We have tabled the videotaping for a work session, and we had some good alternatives for the translation using our website. And so, Dwayne, you would make a motion that we say no to, I'll let you read it,
I make a motion that we say no to Zoom.
or live stream. We better call it, yeah.
Is that saying no, I may not live stream?
Correct. We don't want live stream onto YouTube. That is correct.
So it's a two-part motion. One, no Zoom.
I think that live stream needs to be substituted for the word Zoom. Juliet pointed that out to us. So we can say Zoom or live.
So you are saying you are banning me from live stream?
I'm saying that we don't want live streaming on YouTube. I will go ahead and contact our general counsel to see what they say about that. We we're glad that you're here taping, but we do feel that live stream on YouTube is not productive to the progress that we're making here. And I will check with general counsel on that.
Well,
So,
Please get back to me
I think
immediately. I do not believe that that is legal to say I cannot live stream.
I think that as far as our decision to take our equipment and do either Zoom or live stream is, yeah, I would agree, especially if we're gonna do the recording thing.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not sure if we can prohibit the
right,
public
and, but
from
our
doing
motion
anything
is,
with their own cameras.
Right, our
Whether it be
motion-
cell phones, cameras, et
Yeah.
cetera. So I'm not,
We need to clarify something. first.
Yeah.
You said Juliet would not be able to live stream.
I did say that
Yeah.
I don't think she should live stream. She said, would we allow her to? I said, I don't think she should because it's going straight onto YouTube
I don't
where
think-
but as
we,
part of Dwayne's motion, he's not saying, I thought he's
No.
saying we're not gonna do it, but he's not saying Juliet
no,
cannot.
no, the
No.
motion was just for us.
Right.
She then asked me a question and I
Yeah.
gave my
Okay.
belief on
Does
that.
that clarify that?
The motion is.
Not really.
The motion is not prohibiting you.
I don't think we can
The
prohibit.
motion
Right,
is,
we're gonna
yeah.
check, I said I would check with general counsel. She said, would we? I gave my opinion. I would not, but I
But
will
just to be
check
clear,
with general
Commissioner
counsel.
Simons's motion is, we are not going to Zoom, we are not going to live stream. He's not saying you cannot
The
at this
public
juncture in
can.
time.
But that's okay. Let's just move forward because I promise you
So
to
if
check
that's,
with
now that the
lawyers.
motion is clear, I will
Yep.
second that motion.
Any opposition? Any more discussion? Okay, so the motion carried that the
I didn't say
commission.
aye yet.
And, anybody, how many ayes do we have?
Say all in favor.
I got-
Yeah, thank you. All in
Aye.
favor, say aye. Any opposed? No.
Okay.
The motion for the commissioners not to live stream or Zoom carries.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, Diane, just because I think we are gonna take enough time to do the video and the mics, and I just don't know it.
I just know that it's increased attendance at our meetings and Brooke Lincoln comes on for our Zoom
We're
and that
actually
works,
done.
so.
Okay.
Yep, we're actually done there. Sorry, I thought we were already behind, holding up the museum people. My apologies.
Good morning, my name is Jenny Tubbs, and I'm representing the Mineral County Museum and Historical Society, make a presentation to a project that we are very passionate about, and we hope that we can encourage the commissioners to also become as passionate as we are. Last August, if you participated in the gold rush up Cedar Creek, that we went to the different gold mines that occurred and developed part of Mineral County, it was very well attended. The school buses were there. There were 14 or 17 different cars, private cars, that went up Cedar Creek to check on the history of the gold mine in Mineral County, or specifically Cedar Creek, but those of you that walk around in the woods know that there are gold mines every flippin' where. Who knew? Not me. So, and the history of this area, you know, is especially developed by the miners and the loggers and those people that work their tail feathers in order to make an environment that is some place that we are incredibly proud of. Officially, I'm not a Montanan, but I'm Montana State, to and out. And the mining industry has been a huge history to our area. And if you've been over to the museum and you know that there are just a myriad of presentations for the mining industry and the logging industry and how people's family names became an establishment here in Mineral County. The museum has great pride in that history, or it wouldn't be the way it is, and it wouldn't have a plethora of resources that you can see, and then down in the basement, and the stories that y'all have approved like last time, so thank you very much for that. Now, the group right now would like very much to construct a pavilion on the west side of the library building along Pine Street. And the pavilion would be designed specifically to put the Keystone Drill, that is over at the fairground. You guys, I have no sense of direction. I think the fair's that way, okay? But anyway, to bring that Keystone drill out of the elements, get it under the pavilion, and keep it safe so that the elements won't destroy it anymore. In addition to the Keystone drill, we would love to have the, the hydraulic giant or water cannon. Also part of how the mining started here in this area and how we were able to get all of the gold out of the area. And then different places around in the woods, there are some wooden water pipes that came originally from Cedar Creek, which brought the water from up Cedar Creek, brought it back down into Amador to create the power for the power plant. Again, back in the mining history. And there's those, the wooden pipes, or the wooden tubes, they're not really pipes, but the flume, I guess, to get the water down to Amador to get the water to generate. The other set of water, wooden pipes that we would like to bring in are the ones that are up Flat Creek that brought the original water supply into Missoula, Superior. Okay, so we want to get those kinds of historical relics out of the woods, out of the elements, and under this pavilion. Now, we submitted, please, a picture of, and I hope you have it because I have mine.
We do.
Okay, it's the pavilion will be on the Pine Street side of the museum, and it will be basically a pole barn. With a metal roof, but it will be 30 feet, let me see, 31 feet long, because the Keystone drill is already 30 feet. So it needs to be a little bit longer, and then it'll be wide enough to facilitate the width of the Keystone drill, so our pavilion, we want it to be 20 by 40. And the reason we want it to be that size, we want to also make it family friendly. So on one end of the pavilion, there would be like a picnic table so that families can come and they can look at how it is this area was developed as well as it has been relative to the gold mining and the logging and the history and how we have evolved to be the way that it is that we are. In addition to the pavilion, we would put the plaques up there and describing the Keystone drill, the water cannon, the water pipe, and where it came from, and how we got water from Flat Creek to the city, and from Cedar Creek to Amador to bring the power to the original gold mines. Also, then we want, if there are, let me see, I'm sorry. Mostly we want to protect these relics so that they don't destroy, and we can hold on to the history that we have here in Mineral County and how it became what it is that, or how it is that we are the way we are today. The other thing is we just learned this morning actually that through the DNRC we can get the timbers milled from a local, there'll be some research. Please don't tell me that we're going to have it done because I just learned this. We have to do a lot of questioning, okay? Get the trees down to timber and then mill the timbers so that we can use local timber in our pavilion. Cool. So it will be basically homegrown. I just started this morning. Please don't beat me up because I don't know. But it's an option through the DNRC out of Missoula. So that will cut down on the expense of our construction, and it will be Mineral County regional or local or pride, for lack of a better word. There are a bunch of folks who are available if you have other questions. Deb Regan, of course, who worked at the Forest Service and has since retired, out of town right now, but she's available to answer questions. Sue is here, Joellen is here, and Kay, of course, who has been at the museum probably longer than the museum is here. That's my take on it. Or any other member of the museum committee or board that would be available to clarify any questions that you may have. To consider, please,
our request to initiate this project to get some of our history undercover so that it doesn't become destroyed. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I'll say one thing about the museum people.
I'm
The
sorry?
the level of energy and excitement that all the museum people have is phenomenal.
Did you go on our tour last
I
August?
I did not.
70 people came, you gotta come on.
I will, I absolutely will.
We won't hold that against you, though.
Thank you, thank you.
Until next time.
You know what I
Thank
did
you.
attend though? I did get to go to the book signing for Taft. So
There you
I
go.
did get there.
There you go.
We got a whole new shipment of the books if you're gonna come get one.
Well, that's right. I gotta go to the bank and get some money and then I'll.
Yes, because I want to give another one as a gift. I've been giving them as gifts. But, so.
Oh, wait.
Oh, okay.
On a personal note, my name's Jenny Tubbs again. This doesn't have anything to do with the museum or the history of Monroe County. But when y'all are talking about the language and the interpretation stuff, I'm a certified sign language interpreter, and never once did I hear anything said about those people who can't hear. All of those people who want their microphones. I couldn't interpret. Just
Thank
saying. Thank
Thank you. Jenny and Joellen and Sue, I don't see this listed as an action item, so this was just your presentation, is that correct?
Sure.
No, we want an action.
We would like you to okay where we're gonna put it and the size.
And we couldn't possibly do that without being there, I think, and seeing, you went and looked at the shed
At the
size.
shed size.
Don't you think we would need to go look at what their, yeah,
What's Leroy got to say?
It's all stringed out.
I have it all
You got it marked
no,
out?
she says no.
straightened out and
Go to the microphone.
When's your next meeting?
Yes, Leroy,
When's your next meeting?
Dwayne was making the,
But I should invite them.
yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the
Oh,
spot.
no. I got it all straightened out, or straightened out. But I think, look at all three of those maple trees. I think it should, they're pretty much dying out. I think they should all be taken out of there, instead of just the center one. But look at that.
Okay. There's plenty of room though, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, will we table this then so we can come back? Is that what it would take? But it doesn't say action item, so does it even need to be tabled or just put back on the agenda as an action item for a decision to this?
Yeah, and primarily you guys are looking for approval of the space.
Approval
So
of
yeah,
the space.
if we have a little more time to go look at what Leroy's got laid out, and then, it's the first time I heard any trees, but we'll look at it and then we can put it back on for an official okay.
I just asked Sue, when their next meeting is, and it's the 11th, at what time?
5:30.
5:30. So if anybody's interested in going over to that, you could probably take a look at it then too.
5:30 when?
On the 11th?
April 11, Tuesday.
So it doesn't even need to be tabled since it was not an action.
Correct.
Right? So then I would ask the museum ladies to talk to Darren, fill out a form, get on the agenda for action item. And we will all go take a look so we're better informed. Nice job, and I would say, who's the artist?
Mike.
Mike Steppen.
Ah, look at that. Okay, thank you.
You guys are amazing.
So it looks like now we're on to a little behind, our fault. 11:05, requesting startup funds for the new Mineral County Critical Incident Stress Management. Frank McGee is talking about this CISM program and is asking for $4,500 to get that emergency critical incident stress management program up and running. Is that what?
I thought they were gonna do.
Well, I think you could be wrong.
Okay.
So,
Did you go?
I did not talk to him, but I did get to talk to after an LAPC meeting or somewhere, Kat Kittredge, was telling us about the CISM program. I can't even remember why I was there, but it sounds like it's an absolute blessing to the county. It would be a blessing to the Department of Emergency Services to have this in place. I'm not sure from there.
I do have a question. I think, is the hospital also involved in this? Does anybody know?
I don't think
I
so.
saw somewhere where they were.
I don't think so.
No,
That's a
that's
different
the jackets and that's different. This is a state program.
Okay, because they were having some sort of barbecue or something later.
That's for the
That's for the
bulletproof
Oh,
vests.
okay.
This is, that CISM means Critical Incident Stress Management.
Yeah, I knew
I
that.
think we would open that up before.
I would hope for a presentation from someone.
Well, yeah, because Frank
Well,
McGee
I
is the fire
don't
chief for the
know.
West
Yeah,
End.
I don't know.
I thought they were coming.
I don't know.
Yeah, who would this money go to? Would it be the West End Fire? Would it be DES?
Do we need to
Would it
table
be-
this?
Yeah, for lack of information, we'll,
Table for lack of information.
yeah.
Now you're back on schedule.
I move that we table this until we can get someone in to better explain their need and the request.
Do you want to second that?
I'm just looking to see if I don't have Frank's number. Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, so someone will, all in favor say aye.
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 No opposition?
Not unless you're,
Motion
not
carried.
unless you're gonna say nay.
I'm still reeling here. That museum presentation we do is just so fabulous. I can't wait to get over there. So, there was no opposition, motion carried to table the action item for the CISM planning. And someone will reach out to Frank to say that we needed a, yeah,
Frank or Amy or both, huh?
yeah.
They're all involved in it, Jerry. The one down here.
Huh. Okay, so then we're almost on schedule. Amend resolution 162023A. And that resolution we have in front of us, and it is also on the table. And the change proposed is in the last paragraph of that resolution, a resolution establishing reorganization of the Board of the County Commissioners, Mineral County. So the last statement, be it further resolved that the members of the commission may serve as a liaison at their discretion on the following boards and committees. We are proposing a change so that it reads, may it be further resolved that the members of the commission may serve as a liaison at their discretion on the following boards and committees. Before we vote, do we have any discussion on that?
Change the there, the spelling of there.
I know, I see that too. Oh, who wrote that?
So I guess the boards, can you clarify on these boards? You have resource conservation, Brad economic, union negotiator, county employee, drug testing. Which of these actual boards, are they receiving money from the county? And if so, why is it going to May on those boards? I understand some of the boards you guys are non-voting, but when you are a voting member and we are giving them money, how are we getting information back if you're not attending?
You know what, Juliet, I don't think there's anyone here that's getting money from us. Roman, Dwayne, who's getting money?
Well, the weed board does, but I'm a non-voting member on the.
Yeah, that we are voting
Library
members
board
on,
does.
yeah, but we don't vote.
LEPC?
We don't,
think
I don't vote.
That's just a local.
Yeah, but do they not receive money funding from us?
Those entities that are on that meeting, it's a local emergency planning committee, and they talk about responses, fire, law enforcement. Those individual districts get tax money from St. Regis Fire, the West End Fire, and our sheriff's office, of course, we give them. But they're not like getting, the LEPC is not being
And do they
funded.
not receive, do they not come to you for matching funds on grants?
We rarely have a matching fund on grant, that we always request that grants are, if it's matching, it would be in kind, and that is a match, but dollar-wise,
Well,
we don't.
the Frank's CISM is an example of exactly this.
But we don't- we're not
My concern,
against this.
I object to this, and I object to it because you're making a blanket, we'll decide ourselves with the may. You're now making your own decisions yourselves on what information the public is going to get from all of these different boards. And I find that suddenly changing it from will to may is broad, way too broad. This is a lot of information that our public wants to know, maybe not every single one of them, but a lot of these are things that the public wants to know. And if no one is willing to attend, or you decide one week you're there and the next time you're not, how are we going to, as the public, be informed? And how will those minutes from those meetings that do affect us, like LEPC, if you decide to stop going to that, how does the public get that information? So that's my concern and why I object completely to this, as well as the way it was brought up. Putting it on the agenda the way you did is out of context. It also does not, you did not give the public enough time to review the previous resolution compared to the one you want to pass. So it also did not give the public any opportunity to make comments on this, or suggestions, or approval or not approval of it. So I think that you're rushing into changing something awfully quick that I don't think the public is able to understand from just your agenda item. So I would ask that you guys discuss, but not make this an action today.
I would like to, because before we vote, we get to discuss, I would like to say that it is at our discretion which of these boards we attend. And sometimes we will attend board meetings and find it's really not relevant to us, and that is our
Can you
discretion.
speak?
That is at our discretion. That really is the way it is. There's no law telling us to go to these meetings. Some of them are mandated, and I didn't get a list of that, but I feel we are fine to go from will, because will is not a legal word, to may. And at our discretion, because it is at our discretion whether or not to be members of these boards. So that's my answer, and you guys might have something to hit Juliet with.
And if the public wants more information about those boards, there are minutes available from every one of those boards. If you
Where?
request it.
Well-
Request the board.
Yeah, because you are all welcome to attend all board meetings. As far as I know, the hospital board is open to everyone, library board, all those meetings are all open to the public. Yeah, give them a call and tell them you want their minutes, or ask them, what time is your meeting? I'd like to go to your meeting. Oh, there we have Frank.
There's Bruce.
Okay, Clayton.
Real quick, I'd like to know why all of a sudden, on January 6, 2023, the word will was fine, but now all of a sudden, after someone brought it out, meaning me, that we would like to have copies of the minutes if you guys attend, all of a sudden now it's changing to May. I mean, January 6th, it was fine. Now all of a sudden it's not. Thank you.
Diane, I guess what I would like to know, Dawn and commissioners, which meetings you're required, are there certain ones that you are required to attend?
You know, I don't know that any of these that we have in our county are required by statute,
Okay.
but it is something, anything that's required by statute, of course, that's
Yeah.
not at our
Well,
discretion.
no, that's
Yeah.
what I was asking, if you
Yeah.
knew which ones were.
Nope.
that- on this list, on this specific
Not
list.
at all. Yep.
Okay, and then the other thing is, I want to say is, I did bring minutes from the two boards that I'm on, and I think other people could do that maybe, just as a courtesy if they want to.
And that's just it. Those meetings don't have to supply minutes. If they do, that's wonderful. But I want to encourage everyone to be active and attend those meetings.
And I would like to say the last hospital board meeting, there were no general public. There very rarely is. I
Right.
used to be. But the other thing is you can go on the Monroe County Community Hospital website and get their minutes. So I don't know about the library though. I'm not sure. I didn't check that out. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So to clarify, what boards are you mandated to, I know, and she said herself, before you even said that, what board that they are mandated. Do you know what boards are you mandated to participate in?
Juliet, as I said, I don't know which boards are mandated by the state, but I can tell you the change of wording does not include mandated. It would of course only be things that are not mandated, because I don't know that there are any state mandates, but I am telling you that if there's a mandated board we have to be on, then we'll be on that. This is going to a board meeting that we're not really needed. And if the public wants to know what went on, I encourage you to be active and go to those board meetings. Because you want to know, oh, please attend those.
I see that Dwayne Simons is listed as Health Board Chair.
He is.
Okay, so now he may or may not attend?
No.
He may or may not be there? Is that a
That is not
mandated?
that's not a board meeting, no, that's like when we have hearings. Well, I guess we do have quarterly meetings, don't we?
Right.
Yes.
They're incorporated.
And that would be one, I guess, that would be mandated.
That's what I'm trying to clarify.
Right.
The weed board, you said they do receive money from us. That's another one
I
That
didn't
would
say
be-
That's the one I'm on,
you on?
and I'm just I'm not a voting member, I'm just like an at-large member that observes. Whenever there's a vote, I don't get to vote, I'm just there to find out what's going on in the county with the weed plans, with the Fish and Game, and the Forest Service, and the subdivisions, and so, that's my role there, but I don't.
Do they do minutes?
They do, yeah, Dave Brink and,
Could, if you're attending these, could you be bringing them? Because that is something that I think the public doesn't even
Yeah.
understand
Yeah, I
that-
can bring
what they do.
when I go to the next one, I'll grab the minutes and bring them over.
But you do want to wait. I know that some of the organizations don't want you taking the minutes until they are official.
True.
So when you
That's-
leave a meeting, you would not have the minutes.
You'd have previous.
Previous,
Unless
yeah.
they voted to approve.
Generally, I understand that they fall a week or two or a month, however it is between the meetings. I'm just asking that the consistency of providing the information be done. So I think that you need to table this, because first off, you can't tell us what mandatory boards you're supposed to attend, and now you're saying may, but you're saying, oh, but except for this one. So I think this needs a little more thought and consideration before you just change what you say is 4 words, but it has more implications than that. You do have responsibilities for boards, and you do have responsibilities to the public to make sure that we are informed. So don't rush into something that the public didn't get to see or say.
Hello.
Mark Testa. I would just ask maybe if you could, like, that part where it says at their discretion, maybe possibly define that or provide guidelines for what your discretion actually is. I understand you guys, like, throughout the week, you're very busy, you might not have a chance to attend this or want to deconflict or possibly like that. That might be your definition of discretion. But just leaving it as discretion, being like, you're kind of implying it like, oh, my hangovers from yesterday is too much, so I don't feel like going to this meeting, you know, that sort of thing. So just maybe further define discretion.
The only thing I would like to say to that is, it's not about, I'm going to attend one meeting or another. We may not sign up to be a liaison, may serve on that board. It wouldn't be missing a meeting, but serving on the board, period. But thank you for that comment.
I would also like to say, as far as the county providing funds, there's like options when you can attend. Budgeting time is one option, when you find out what organizations or boards receive money from the county. And also when they approach, like Frank was going to do today, to talk about, and it's an action item. If it's an action item on there, you'll find out. I think Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority is a good example. We don't provide any funds for that right now, but I intend on coming in periodically to report on what's going on with that organization, since we're kind of tied to it.
You know, that's just an example, so there's
Yes,
other
you do a
examples.
very nice job of making known what's going on. You take it upon yourself to come in and update the commissioners on
And I will do that for the
organization. Yes.
Multi-county, oh, I have good news on that. We don't have to pay any money. The multi-county raise grant application.
We do need to move, that's a
Yeah.
little off, yeah.
I know it's
Come
off.
back
I
and
know
give
it's
us,
off.
come back and give us
Such
that
good
excellent
news.
information, yeah. So I just can't strongly enough urge everybody to attend these meetings, okay? So I'm excited for the museum board, not as a commissioner, but as a
That's not even
citizen.
on this list.
Who's on the museum? Well, because it's a board, again, all of these boards were just, they weren't mandated to us. So that's what
But
after
they
discussion.
they often have, you know, a benefit to us to be
Yeah.
there, to know what's going on.
Yeah, like
So is that-
LDPC.
So
I
is the
wanna go.
purpose to say may serve at their discretion, meaning if you don't have a conflicting schedule, then you
If
may or
you
may not
choose,
go?
yeah, it's just,
But,
it's May.
because otherwise, why even bother signing up to be on?
Right,
there?
and had we known this at the beginning of the year, we would have been into that.
Yeah,
So it's
I
just
just-
to allow for the latitude that if you can't make a meeting, that you're not gonna be. you know,
Well, in several of
No,
these
it's-
boards, you are a voting member, so
Right.
why go? If we don't have a say, as a commissioner, why go to the meeting?
Ever, you mean, or so should we just
Yeah.
scratch
no, we
it off the
don't
list as
mean
a
one.
sign?
Yes, yes.
You mean don't even bother to list Dwayne Simons as whatever because you don't get to vote? Or-
Right.
Well, then we wouldn't need to change anything other than the list below your name.
Except, well, but that's another change.
Yeah,
So that's why we said May,
And
because,
discretion.
yeah. And not, it isn't about missing a meeting, it's about, you know what, I don't think it serves us well time-wise to be attending the hospital board meetings. And so we wouldn't have that under there because we decided it doesn't.
I do have a question about hospital board meetings, because I do believe you're a voting member on the hospital board.
I am not a voting member, we
Okay,
are not.
okay, I just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify
Yeah,
that.
we are not.
Thank you.
But that is, we choose the boards that we're on, and so that didn't seem outrageous that we would change will to may. We can certainly take out at their discretion, but it's will to may is the change.
Okay. Just for verification, and we probably need to change this at the hospital board, it says directors absent, which lists the county commissioner as a director, so maybe that needs to be changed.
Sure.
Okay.
I
I'll
just
bring
pulled
up
that
at the
out, I
meeting.
just pulled that out as an example.
I know, but I'm just saying that that probably needs to be changed then, because you're not really a director.
No, not a
Okay.
director at all,
Okay.
no.
Thank you.
An advisory capacity is what.
Or a liaison.
probably
Something like
when they first started, it was a county hospital, that's when that word was used.
Yeah, okay.
So the more you guys discuss this, the more confusing it becomes. You have the discretion of what boards you will or won't participate in. Where does the public get a say in any of this? We don't. We don't get a say on what boards we want you to participate in.
Correct. There's probably a lot of boards out there that weren't even listed here, that were not ever under consideration. I don't know where they originated from, but
Well,
I'm sure it's not every board in the
concerned that
county.
this is a document that was passed, was passed January 6th. And it was copied exactly from the year before, only it
Right.
changed names. And now it's a problem? I guess I'm really confused about why all of a sudden this changes and it's at your discretion and not with public. The public doesn't get to say what they're interested in. I mean, I get that we changed from a county hospital to a private hospital, but by the same token, the land isn't the land still county?
So can I ask you something, Julia? Why don't you go to any of these meetings?
Because I frankly, right now, have medical issues that barely allow me to be here.
And we're running,
And I am not getting paid by the citizens of this county to represent the public. If I was getting paid to be representing the public, then I would be attending things like this. I think it is very important. I think that LEPC, the hospital being on county property, is that not part of the issue, that they're on county property?
No, it's not, no.
Oh, okay, so it's the hospital property. I know it was a
Yeah, it's
confusing
not.
issue earlier.
It was a confusing, yeah.
But there are a lot of things, and I think that changing things right now is happening at a rate that is confusing to the public on how we get information when you are just arbitrarily at your discretion. It doesn't seem like it represents the public, and it's becoming more confusing. So maybe we could identify to the public what is mandatory and what is not mandatory, and then you can make your at discretion with the non-mandatory list, so that the public is fully informed of what what your responsibilities really are.
We could wait till next week.
Oh, yeah, we can wait till next week. I want to say, come right up, Jenny. I do want to just say one thing. You ask about why the change now? Why? Well, when do you make the change? In January, when I came on board, you'll notice that all of our things are the same year after year after year. And so now, we're really taking a deep look at these things. And so, when else would change happen, except as we discover the need for change? So that's the answer to that. Go ahead, Jenny.
At the risk of being redundant, and at the risk of not understanding the word discretion, I went to the dictionary and to find what is the full official definition of discretion. And if you'll give me the opportunity, I will read. Discretion, the full meaning is the quality of having or showing discernment or good judgment. Quality of being discreet, circumspection especially, cautious reserve in speech, and the ability to make responsible decisions. If you take a look, please, at the ballot of last November, these folks were on that ballot, and we chose them for their responsible discretion and their decision-making policies. If you're getting hung up on the word discretion, I think it's a moot point. The folks, we are trusting them with the ability to make responsible decisions and to be discreet in their circumspection of what they've heard on the other boards that they have visited and are listening to what's going on in the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perhaps maybe you can clarify to the public that by you putting this isn't stopping you from attending these boards. This is just saying that you're not being shoehorned into must going to these boards.
That is absolutely correct. Thank you for bringing that up. It doesn't mean we can't, but we don't want to lock it and say we absolutely will be doing this. And then we'll take this last comment and then we better move on because I do have the next appointment.
Okay, two things. Number one is you said that things change. So you're telling me that on 1/6/23, you just blanket signed that document without reading it, saying, we're gonna approve this, and now all of a sudden you're gonna change it. And just to correct something on something, in November, we voted for one of the person. One of the other people was appointed by the other two prior to that. So, and the only reason, we didn't have much choice as who to vote for because he was the only one on the ballot at that time. So I understand, what you're saying, but on the same token, one was appointed and we, the public, had no say as to who was appointed. It was the other two that were up there. Thank you.
I am the appointed one, and I would say this, that it was at their discretion in a public meeting who they appointed. So I do want to make that clear. And did I blanket sign a resolution? You know what, just getting my legs underneath me, I didn't know that that could be an issue. Therefore, what better time to make the change than when it is due? So with that, we do have to move on. We will table this and revisit it as an action item for changes on next Friday.
Yeah, I saw it, I read it too, and I didn't really think it needed any kind of, because of what it says the commission will serve as a liaison. I have no problem serving as a liaison, I don't know where it says anything about attending so many meetings a year or attend every meeting. It just says we'll serve as a liaison, so to me, it's kind of like
Because-
a harmless line anyhow.
Well, except that it was brought to our attention that we are required because it's on the resolution. So-
Required to be a liaison.
Required, meaning you will go to all of them.
No, it doesn't say that.
Okay, so,
It says that the members of the commission will serve as liaison on the following boards and committee. I'm a liaison on the weed board, and sometimes I miss a meeting, but I'm still the liaison, and I'm kind of their contact person if they, and I can, be apprised of what's going on, and I can share with you two if something earth-shaking comes up. It doesn't say I will go to every meeting, it just says I will serve as a liaison on the following board, so.
yeah.
Anyway.
It came up when we were told we were required, and then we thought, wow, we're not actually required for these meetings, so we needed to clean that up. But again, so what are you saying? You want to leave it as is, you want to change it to May at their discretion, or you want to table it?
Table.
Table it?
Is that a motion, Commissioner Simon?
I make that motion that we table that for 1 week.
Okay, I will second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, none opposed, motion carried. Andy, I think you're the guy waiting. Is it you? It is you. I'm sorry, we kept you a long time, my apologies.
Andy Short, Mineral County Director of Environmental Health and Planning. I think we missed our 11:30 hearing, which, so be it. It dealt with the planning board, so
Oh, here it is.
it was good to talk about boards.
It
Stuff
was.
here in the thing, but, yeah, and talking about getting your feet under you, I sympathize with you, Don. I'm going on 5 years, and I feel like I'm getting my feet under me. So we'll just go on to Transportation Alternatives Grants Letter of Support. I don't know if did I provide you guys with any information on that at all?
Are we talking about, George?
No, we missed that. That was 11.
Oh, we're out there
That was
rushing.
11:30 to 11:45.
That's what, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Leave $1 short.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So, Town of Superior is applying for a transportation alternatives grant, and they're looking for letters of support from, anytime you apply for those grants, right, you want as many letters of support as you can get. Just give you some background on the project. The Transportation Alternatives Grant provides funding for capital improvement projects that improve community connectivity, including pedestrian facilities, recreational trails, safe routes to school, and other transportation alternatives. The Town of Superior is proposing a project that will implement townwide improvements in additions to the sidewalks that connect the community to school routes and business districts and recreation sites. So the Transportation Alternative Grant is a federal grant. It used to be Safe Routes to School. They provide funding with a local match of 13%. So it's, I don't know if you guys have looked into sidewalk construction lately, but it's quite expensive. So that's pretty beneficial bang for the buck. That having just 13% of a project being paid by the town. The project total is about $200,000. And so that's just based, they just back calculated like what can we afford in the next 3 years. These grants come up every 2 to 3 years, and it was me kind of pushing them to try to get into the cycle of getting in the program. and hopefully stay in it. That's what most towns do, right? They've got multi-year phases where they're putting in sidewalks and trails. That's the short of it, so to speak.
I was gonna ask, is that a pun?
I don't know, pun intended. I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. I have the town's request, and then I have an example letter of support.
So, I think, do you guys think this is something that needs to be open to the public for a decision on, to help decide on this letter of support? Or do you feel like we can make this letter of support without opening that up for approval from the public?
Just to support the town in their application for,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, if we're just kind of,
Well, it is an action item,
yeah.
because we're going to vote to.
Is there a timeline on that?
The grant is due in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
I'm a little late in getting to you guys, actually. Yeah.
So the letter's already drawn up that you would like us to?
I can.
Oh, okay.
I can.
Well, why don't we do that? Why don't we go ahead and let him complete the letter and review it and then vote on it?
Or do you think I could read your sample? Will it be exactly that, read that aloud and open it up for discussion? And so we can take care of this, given the time frame?
Where are they putting it at? Andy?
Along 4th Street. It's about 465 lineal feet. So if anybody's ever wondering how much a sidewalk project costs, 465 lineal feet is about $200,000.
On the bus barn side, where there is no sidewalk?
The opposite.
The opposite.
Yeah, and then some little bit of infill, and then maybe a little bit on the corner of Pennsylvania.
So I'm going to read this letter and then we'll open it up to get input from all of you. We would like to write a letter of support to the town of Superior for the application process to secure funding through Montana Department of Transportation. So as the commissioners for Mineral County, we are in full support applying for Phase 1 grant through the Transportation Alternative Program. We are excited to provide safe areas for our residents and visitors to use. Our goals are to connect our residential areas to our school, businesses, and other common areas with accessible sidewalks. Phase 1 of the proposed project will install new sidewalk along 4th Avenue East, where there is currently no paved walkway connecting community members with the Superior schools. The additional sidewalk will create safer and more accessible school routes for children commuting to school on foot. Safety and connectivity are the main goals of the town of Superior, which aims to achieve safety with this project. I'm sorry, I stumbled there. We are committed to continuing to improve and add to our sidewalk infrastructure as funding is available. Then we would sign that as commissioners. Does anybody have a question about that? Any comment about us signing this letter of support? Yes, Juliet, could I have you come to the podium?
I absolutely support that. I think it's a great idea. There's a lot of people that do walk around this area, and I think that safe walking places is really important, so.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comment? Okay, do we have a motion?
I move that we approve to issue a letter of support for the town of Superior to apply for and hopefully acquire their grant for this project.
I would second that motion.
Any further discussion up here?
No, I think it's very beautiful.
I do too. All in favor say aye.
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 No opposition, motion carried.
John, I'll send you that Word document.
Perfect.
Just
Yep.
put it on your letterhead.
Okay, thank you. What do we have? Rings are ahead of, we can move ahead because Ms. Dunn was missed. Frank, can we reschedule you because we
Sure.
missed? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's
I
okay.
mean, no disrespect, you know, it's been a busy morning,
That
so,
we completely understand. So if you would just get with Darren and reschedule.
sure.
Did you go swimming this morning?
Or were you just road control?
Just road control, so actually,
Bottom for
the fire
apples.
department get things set back up from this. I'll leave these with you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, a little something to read. And like I said, you know, I meant no disrespect, my
Oh,
soul
no,
late.
we don't have those.
Well, thank you though, that's so nice that you would,
Snow on the mountain, was it up there?
Yeah,
That you would
it
tell
was
us
starting
that.
to snow.
Uh-huh.
It was, yeah.
okay.
One for the public?
Sure.
Can I ask you a question? To clarify this, did you say that you were gonna come to our meeting before you gave us an approval? Or is he gonna just go look at it and we can ask for next Friday?
Yeah, put it on.
And then use your discretion to come to our board meeting.
Yeah, you don't need
I
to
can
come to
now.
our board meeting, right? You don't need to, but you won't. You don't need to come to our board meeting, right?
Oh, no, I said as a citizen, I was looking forward to that because all of you have brought such enthusiasm. You have sparked my interest in the
Oh,
museum.
cool. Oh,
Yeah, as a citizen.
Okay, so we can put on the agenda, we can come next Friday to get our food.
If Darren puts this on the agenda.
He did. This is it. We can put on the agenda right now. Thanks, you guys.
Joellen, have a good weekend.
Thank you, you guys too. Thank you.
Hey, sweetie, I'll see you next time.
So, Norman, were you gonna try to pop over to get a book today? Because they're not open really today.
Oh, they're not, okay.
No, but I can get you a book. It's not, I will be there.
Oh, you'll be over there?
Yeah, but you have to knock on the window or something so I know, because all the doors are locked.
Okay, what window will you be at?
Elected officials.
Down at one of the, they're boarded up. My art museum office boards are the ones that are boarded.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that helps.
So that's on the west side of the building by
Right,
the
where you can look at the
stairs?
string,
Yeah,
By
but I'm not
the
sure.
west?
where the string's on the ground.
You.
Oh, okay, I'll knock there, okay.
So you know how the building has a cubby,
Yeah.
a cut-in?
Right,
We're in the cut-in.
okay,
So if you knock on any of those windows in the cut-in, I'll hear you.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Joellen, do you have signed copies of the book
What's his name?
over there?
No.
You know, that might have been something to think about. Maybe they would have signed a bunch of copies for you, the authors.
Yeah.
Just a
I wonder
thought
why
for
they
next
quit
time.
doing that. I mean, they only did it right there in the building.
I know, but maybe, you know, I'm just saying, I don't think it's a selling point because the book sells itself, but I know that my son really liked the fact that it was signed by the author.
Are we adjourned?
Well, it's $4,500.
That is correct.
Are we going? Are we starting the meeting?
We are, we're starting the meeting. We've come back from our recess.
I've given you all, you know, I typed up, this year, we have a team going right now, and we've actually, used everybody for, the shooting that went on. We've actually got together, and, I think this is gonna be really critical to, moving forward in the county, especially with the first responders, and what they go through. So, I typed up here, Mineral County hosted a critical incident stress management training for individual and group settings in February 2023. After the training, participants met and chose to formally designate a Mineral County CISM team. We are in the process of creating bylaws and protocols for response. The purpose of CISM is to provide support to first responders after a critical incident, as well as the community. If the incident expands to involve the community, providing support to our first responders after a traumatic event can help to reduce the amount of stress response they experience. Connect them with needed resources and reduce the amount of burnout and turnover experienced in the first responder field. We would like to request an operating budget for the Mineral County CISM team for the following items.
You want me to read the items? You guys have that right there in front of you.
You could go ahead and read those, please.
$260 for the ICISM team membership, 2-year membership provides discounts on training, certification, continuing education for CISM. $75 for CISM ID cards and name tags. $500 for printing up new materials, handouts, and postage for mailers to agencies. $750 for food and non-alcoholic beverages, drinks, utensils, plates, for participants in the CISM debriefs. $1,750 for mileage reimbursement at the current county rate for the team response. And $1,165 for continuing education for the members. I know this, we need to continue the education, to move this forward. And like I said, we are creating a team right now. For all this, I'm one of the people on this team, in this group. So, I was asked to present this to you for, to get the funding started for the CISM. We will be moving forward, and once everything is in place, this will help get us there. Okay, so I'm asking for $4,500. I don't think that's, an excessive amount to get started, and I think the county will, benefit from it.
So I have one comment and one question for you guys. I think we all know the importance of this. There is no question. And I do want to say that one of your people was in here the other day when we had a community member come in and really throw some sharp questions at us. And one of your people was able to step up and answer all of those questions. And it was because she said SISM so many times. She was just phenomenal. So I do appreciate that.
Sure.
And then I ask you guys, where does the $4,500 come from? What fund, where does that come out of?
I'd say Commissioner's discretion right offhand.
Okay.
Yeah, seems like easy to, who's gonna be, so you're gonna be it's gonna be a team, so if this money comes your way, it's gonna be
I'm
West
on the
End?
committee too.
So it'll go to you or the West End Fire Department, or?
No, it'll go to the CISM team, okay? We will start our own account and stuff, through the county, so.
Do you have a name?
We have not come up with a, name yet, we're looking at Mineral County, it's a team right now, but that may change.
So it'll be you and 4 other people, or one from each fire department, or how's the team gonna look?
What it is, we have Amy on there, we have myself, we have Jerry, Kat, and then we have a couple of health on there. I don't remember their names, health personnel on there. So.
It's quite a phenomenal team that you have put together.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Before we, do you have any other questions? Before we,
No, I think it's a good idea.
yeah. So before we would take a motion, does the public want to weigh in on this? Okay, we see a lot of thumbs up there, and so,
We had an incident when we were the fire department, and this was when we lost a firefighter, and this is very, very critical.
I'm gonna have you say that at the podium, please.
No.
Are you gonna retract it? No, I didn't really need to say that.
No.
Thank you.
When we were in the fire, when Bruce and I were fire department at West End, we lost a firefighter. And the critical incident handling for us was unbelievable. Because now I can't talk about it, sorry.
That's okay.
It was something, we had it, at the time, it was through the mental health department and public health somehow. I
Yes.
don't remember, I remember some of the people on the team, but I don't remember how they related, other than the initial was whoever the man was. I'm gonna ask you,
Yes,
wrong person to ask whose name. That used to be in charge of the mental health department here.
he moved to another county from here, and I can't think of his name, but he was awesome in handling the whole situation. And it would be the same, you know, I'm hoping our people that were involved in the St. Regis are getting that kind of
Yes,
assistance.
thank you. Any other weigh-in before we take a vote on this? Okay, do we have a motion?
I move that we contribute $4,500 to the critical incident stress management team for the purpose of that, and to just ensure you get a fund set up with
Sure.
Kellyanne and
I will.
Second?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just said, yeah.
yeah, out of the, did I always say out of the commission discussion?
You didn't,
Okay.
but I wondered about that.
Yeah.
Any further discussion up here? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No opposition, motion carried.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And how
Thank you.
do you plan on getting the money? That is over the
We
motion.
will, the committee will get together and then, you know, then we'll decide from there how we're gonna do it. We'll probably get an account set up, probably have to go through Claudia to get an
Okay.
account set up, you know, for the team, okay? For the committee, then we can move forward from there.
Okay, so I just want to make sure then, what is the plan here for letting, I think it's Kellyanne who will need to know that this money is being donated. What's the plan for letting her know? I mean, yes, it will be in the minutes, but,
I can send her an email or go talk to her and say that we're gonna.
okay, because I want to make
I'll
sure that
just-
we,
well, I'll just tell her you're kind of the lead guy.
Sure.
And you'll be communicating with her on that and looking for her guidance on how to establish that. Like a fund account. And then she'll probably just do a transfer from.
as long as we've got that covered on how we're going to do it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Frank.
for taking time.
Thank you for taking the time to come in. So I just need to, okay. Oh, yes. We are now ready for 1 o'clock. Bruce and Susan Charles, request for funding for exterior painting of the historic DeVorcy Schoolhouse.
Yes, ma'am.
You want, the notebook, you want us up there?
Oh,
Go through it?
No, that's okay. You can stand there because we need to make sure that everyone can hear with the,
Oh, okay. All those chords, it doesn't mean you have it.
oh, no. It doesn't, no.
We put together the notebook for you all because we figured that would give you a little bit of background. And those are yours to keep.
But that's not bad. People in the committee.
So you can read, especially the newspaper article is
Yeah.
really fun. It's old, but it's really fun to read through. You'll get more history from that newspaper article.
Have the guy that pole vaulted with the willow stick.
Yes.
Isn't that
Went out to
fantastic?
Washington State. Yeah.
Yes.
And another guy that went through that spent 33 years with NASA in the space program. I mean, he had gone through, I think, the first 8.
Our new
The treatment,
products.
yeah.
And this is, you know,
So we are going to do this.
we're becoming scientists on this, like it or not.
So that's going to be part of the project. And we have one bid, and the bid is for $24,000. And we haven't negotiated, you know, there's a possibility we could reduce it, but what we're asking for is the $24,000, and if we can spend less, we'll simply return it to you guys. The organization is a 501c3 organization, and it's got all the tax stuff, and it's been filed and all that good
And the
stuff.
title of that C3 is Happy Homemakers? Or?
It's, no,
That's where it was changed to the Borgia Historic Schoolhouse Foundation
Okay.
for that and the incorporation.
Did you bring that bid with you?
no, we did not. Did not. It was done by Dave Jackson. He had gone through the whole building several years ago. We got screwed up in timing because of COVID. Like it just, everything got delayed. And he had done a whole analysis of the building, and it comes up to, there's probably $70,000 worth of work to be done there. But the most critical, immediate problem to preserve the building is to get it paid.
So a question I would have for the other commissioners is, if you were to approve this, if we are to approve this, where does this money come from?
Well, I mean, it'd have to be a unanimous vote, I guess. But we were looking at the fairgrounds for 125. That was gonna come from the
Local tribal consistency.
Yeah. Do we, and is that money here up on our books so that we could immediately?
1,400,000 of it is, and
Yeah,
then
the other
there's
half.
another million or something.
Okay.
So, I guess the way I look at it is that, well, that money, that local consistency money can be used for any county project, a fair or whatever, parking lot or whatever, but, the way I kinda look at this is that those ladies in 1969, Messenbrink and Cooper and Selman, they raised all their own money and saved this county building, and we've been kind of operating on, basically neglecting it with any kind of attention or funds, other than the attention you guys volunteer. I mean, I'm inclined to help preserve the history of the county and to help keep the functioning of the services you guys can operate with this building.
I'm in full agreement. I just want to know, where will the money come from? We have it on site right now, so we wouldn't have to wait. It's not one of those things where we have to say, yeah, but wait for the grant to come in. Right? Am I understanding you correctly?
No brainer.
Okay, no, I'll let you.
What kind of, just out of curiosity, so you said Dave Jackson was the bid on that. What kind of time frame would he be able to jump right on it as soon as?
Well, we can't do it until the night temperature stays above 50, and the day temperature doesn't go above 90.
At least 2 or 3 more days.
So, yeah.
April's right around the corner,
Yeah. So, we're figuring that it would probably start the 1st of June, end of May, someplace in there. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I just,
We haven't told him we have money. And we want to talk with a couple of other people to make sure that we've got the correct deal. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Well, so that would be my other question. Is this something that needs to be advertised for bid?
I think it would be.
Yeah. Advertised for bids?
but
Do you think?
would we advertise it or would they?
Well, if you give us the money, we can advertise it. We'd like to keep it with someone who has a reputation
And
for
that-
doing this sort of thing correctly. And we'd like to keep it in Mineral County just because we're
Yeah.
spending Mineral County money.
Local economy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, Bruce, when we open bids and talk about them, that is a consideration that you would give to us. Well, we like the fact that this is a reputable bidder, we know
Yes.
his work, we know, those are all things that you get to say at the time of opening the bids when we make a final, give us a final recommendation.
Yeah, you don't wanna take a low ball bid and then have somebody either
No.
not complete it or do a crappy job and end
Yeah.
up doing it again.
Well, this is.
Unfortunately, I have a history that goes back 60 years playing this game, so yes, I've burned more than one set of fingers. It's kind of like, I was joking with my wife, the building's 115 years old, but it's only 33 years older than I am.
Yes, when you said that, that was quite a chuckle, yeah. So, hold on one second. Yep, we're gonna open this up to public discussion before we take a vote. So we're gonna have, Juliet's got her hand up, so I'll have her come to the podium. If you,
You know I support it. I do support this living out on the West End. I know that it makes it very convenient for those of us who do have large families and not large homes, that we can go and we can use this area and this school building, and we can have public community meetings with our sheriff and things like that. The question I do have is, Bruce, have you exhausted all grants that you might have available for historical societies?
The problem is timing. If I started 3 years ago, it's a good possibility, but it usually takes any place, well, right now, I went through it, and there's none that I can immediately start. And most of them, the good ones, I wouldn't be able to even get a request in for about a year.
Are you gonna go forward with some to try and maybe work on the other issues that we're not gonna be able to address right
Susan
now?
has told me to do
Yeah.
that. Yes.
She's
If she
requesting.
doesn't, I can come back later.
Okay.
That's just when you need two.
That was pretty much what I wanted to say, is I totally support this, but also I have concerns that we continue to go forward to get grants for the other $100 and some odd thousand by the
Yes.
time we get to it.
But yes,
But yes, I definitely agree.
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say something. Bruce,
Yes, sir?
I respect your judgment and everything else, but as far as that individual that gave you the estimate,
You heard that I was going to look further.
okay, but the thing, you made a comment, quality work,
Well, we can't, I don't think it would be appropriate for us to be discussing this individual that he mentioned.
okay, wait, I have something to say. I don't want my tax dollars going to pay somebody that's out there, we had to do work on our house and totally screwed it up.
I
That's
think
all I'm
again,
saying.
we aren't here to discuss that at this point.
Well, it is.
We're going to, work on getting some bids, and then the recommendation is going to come from Bruce and Susan, if you're ahead of that committee. And we're gonna move from there. Okay? So do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we give up 25,000 or 24, what'd you say?
I'll take 25. Well, the first was 24.
24,000 to paint the historical schoolhouse?
Do we need to put anything in there about the bids? Or not, that one go in the motion?
I'm sorry about
Do
the,
we have to put the bids, I'm wondering if that should be in our motion about the bids.
that possibly we seek additional bids between now and the first of
I
June.
think that would say that when we're dealing with county
Yeah, do we want it in the motion?
money, yeah,
Yeah.
to solicit some bids, but like you said, we'll have the managers of the bids,
Yeah,
be Bruce and Susan, they can bring them to us and,
and make the recommendation.
yeah, make a recommendation. And that way, cause you might get somebody but you might get someone that really is a low bid, but they don't have, you can tell they don't have the bonding or the experience.
Exactly.
The number of people it's going to take to actually.
Right, so all that has to be in consideration.
All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I didn't second it yet.
Well, you better.
Oh, yeah, Roman.
I'm gonna second it with that criteria you said about the bid.
Yeah,
So put that in, so I'll second.
yeah. Any opposed?
What? Aye, I'm in favor.
You missed it. Could you quit throwing a kink in my butt? Okay, so we have a motion, led by Commissioner Simon, seconded by Commissioner Zalawi for $24,000. We're painting the schoolhouse, Dvorak Schoolhouse, but bids will be solicited and will be recommended by Bruce and Susan Charles. Something like that,
Something like that.
something like that.
Thank you.
Motion carried. No, it's okay.
Hey, thank you guys
Thank you,
very
guys.
much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for
Have
that
fun.
notebook.
Yeah,
You're very
thank you.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Then you
much.
guys, thank you for staying on top of that building for so many years. I mean,
Oh, this is that, when you look at what, come out and look around and see
Yeah.
what has been done by just ladies in the
yeah. Well, you guys, your outfit is carrying it on and keeping it up. I mean,
Now, that's his
Yeah.
brother.
I mean, the painting is needed to get
Well,
done.
you look at the carriage house.
Yeah,
It's
oh, yeah.
Before and after on
There's a
that.
big makeover there.
Right.
Dennis is dead.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care of you.
Thanks.
Thank
I
you,
don't
safe
disagree with
travels
what
home.
you said.
What's that?
I said I don't disagree with what you said. That's it. Take care.
No.
You can still get I'll have to see if it's gonna take.
Yeah, I would like to, do you guys miss the activities at the schoolhouse? Like recently, what did they have there?
St. Patrick's dinner.
Before that, what was
They
it?
had
And the ladies' luncheon.
Yeah,
About
they
the
had that
ladies'
carrot
lunch, is that
cake.
what
And the pies.
Yeah,
pies, yeah.
I wanted to go to that ladies' luncheon, but I missed it. I need a.
They dress up and wear hats and
Maybe
brooches
we-
and
oh, maybe
dresses.
we're
It's
gonna go to that
awesome.
then.
They do.
Cause I don't have
We're
any
on
of
time
that,
for
but
this one.
I do, I love
I like
the
that.
schoolhouse.
Sorry about the other one.
No, that's all right.
Do we wanna go ahead and get that in now, like we did Frank's, Andy's appointment?
For next week?
Yeah, we made a provision to go ahead and vet Frank in, and we have the right to do that for you since we are the ones that,
Yeah, do you wanna?
yeah. Make that recommendation.
Actually, let's wait.
Okay,
There's a Albertson Town Council meeting. I might be able to just handle it all through that. Yeah, so,
Copies for public?
yeah, just
Awesome.
Unfortunately, we can't. Unfortunately, we can't do it.
what do you think that statute means? So Dwayne, did you have that draft ready? Because spring is, summer will be here. She told you,
Yep, as soon as the sun comes out again, I'll be out there polishing it out.
She went $100 better for my rate on where our campers were positioned 3 years ago. He said, no, they weren't like that. And I said, yeah, they were. He said, I bet you $100. So it took her 10 minutes to scroll through her phone and find pictures of how, and then he happened to have $100 bill in his wallet. He paid out. So she'll hold you to it.
Yep.
Now, this is ready for Darren, right? Yep.
Wasn't there another one though too? I thought there, was it kind of, you know, maybe he didn't,
Okay, I'll
he
make it
didn't have
work
2
here.
letters?
Wasn't this MOU?
Oh, maybe it was.
Okay, do you wanna put this in your folder for next week?
You may never see it
I
again.
know,
Here, I'm
may
gonna
not
put it in
mine
the
either.
schoolhouse for now, so that I don't lose it. So, Roland?
Yeah.
Did you hear my conversation there? This Betty Cooper that's pictured here,
Yeah,
that was the wife to my stepmom's dad.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I know, I'm trying to figure
Stepmom.
this out. No, wait a minute, the wife to the stepmom's dad. Okay, I get it.
Yep.
I got it.
Huh.